Good evening. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park. I'm Mayor Bianca Motley Broom. We have a full quorum present with council members Mackenzie, Karn, Arnold, and Gay. And so, subject to my continuing objections over ordinance 2024-01 and the omnibus motion, this body passed the first week of January in 2024. I will call the meeting to order at this time. The first thing on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Reverend Cheryl is doing our invocation this evening.
Mayor Motley Bloom, Mayor Pro Tem Mackenzie, council members, and the citizens of College Park. I am the Reverend Alex Sherrill, and I bring you greetings on behalf of the vestry and parishioners of St. John's Episcopal Church here in College Park. Thank you for this honor to open today's meeting in prayer. Let us pray. Almighty God, in you we live and move and have our being. We humbly pray you so to guide and govern us by your Holy Spirit, that in all the cares and occupations of this meeting, we may not forget you, but may remember that we are ever walking in your sight. Grant our leaders wisdom, discernment, and courage to make decisions that are just, fair, and promote the common good of this city. Help us all to listen with open hearts and minds, to build bridges and understanding, reflecting your love and grace in our actions and words. And let us remember the prayer of St. Francis. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is discord, union. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. Yes. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Amen.
Mayor Motley Bloom, if I may, I would like to extend an invitation. That'd be quick. Okay. All are invited to attend our upcoming free community events. On Friday, October 17th, from 7 to 9 p.m., we invite you to a free jazz concert under the stars. The soulful sounds of X-Factet will be playing on the horseshoe lawn next to our church. So please bring a lawn chair and a picnic dinner, then sit back and relax. And if it does happen to rain, the concert will move inside to our parish hall. Again, this is on Friday, October 17th, from 7 to 9 p.m., rain or shine. And we also invite you on the next day to come inside our nave on Saturday, October 18th at 4 p.m. for our organ dedication concert. We are going to celebrate over 2.5 years of addition and restoration work to our organ. Acclaimed guest organist Will Bethode will entertain our ears and enrich our souls. Then we will have a celebratory reception in the parish hall. Again, that is on Saturday, October 18th at 4 p.m. All are welcome to either or both events. And more information can be found on our Facebook page, St. John's Episcopal Church in College Park, Georgia. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, City Manager, residents of College Park. I stand before you to give you your civility pledge. The pledge reads, "The way we govern ourselves is often as important as the positions we take. Our collective decisions will be better when different views have had the opportunity to be fully vetted and considered. All people have the right to be treated with respect, courtesy, and openness. We value all input. We commit to conduct ourselves at all times with civility and courtesy to each other." I ask all who step forward to speak this evening, please remember the civility pledge.
Thank you, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Council.
evening.
I'd like to share a brief safety message In the event of a fire, please remain calm, gather your belongings, and proceed to the nearest exit. Exit signs are clearly marked throughout the building. Please assist others as necessary. Our designated assembly areas are located beyond the parking lots. Once outside, please remain at the assembly point until further instructions are given by fire or City of College Park personnel. Your safety is our priority. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Chief.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd request to be recognized. I have a statement I'd like to read into the record.
A statement
Yes, Madam Mayor.
regarding?
On ordinance 2024-01.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Statement of the City of College Park. Despite individual opposition, ordinance 2024-01 is a lawful measure duly enacted by a unanimous vote of City Council. The ordinance establishes a rule that prevents the mayor from participating in the deliberations of City Council. In response, a lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court challenging this ordinance on the grounds that it restricts free speech by silencing the mayor. But in a series of published written orders, a federal court judge affirmed the lawfulness of the city's ordinance and rejected legal challenges to its constitutionality. The court first denied a motion for a TRO that would have prevented the enforcement of the ordinance during the pendency of the lawsuit, and recently the court issued a final order dismissing the lawsuit in its entirety. The court ruled that the city council has the authority to limit the mayor to a non-deliberating presiding officer role, and that this does not violate either the city charter or the First Amendment. Therefore, there is no viable legal objection to ordinance 2024-01. All challenges have been fully vetted and soundly rejected by the federal court. With all questions settled, the city council and all of its members are required to follow the law.
Madam Clerk, from whom did you receive that?
I received this from the city manager's office today.
Thank you. All right.
Item 2, additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda.
Are there any?
I'd like to table 8X to the next meeting.
Okay. I'd like to move items 8R, 8S, 8U, 8V to the regular session for discussion, as they are not part of the actual line items of the community enhancement.
Can you repeat those again, please? Mayor, can you repeat that, please?
Yes, those would be, and I apologize, it'd be, actually, I apologize, it'd be Q, R, S, U, V, W.
T.
No, not T. I mean, that's just a per diem. Q, R, S, U, V, W.
And what is the reason? Can you repeat what the reason is, please?
None of those are individually line itemed in community enhancement. But I guess I don't need a reason, right? Any others? All right, is there a motion? Hearing none, motion fails.
Item 3, approval of agenda.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. That is unanimous.
Agenda item 4, presentation of minutes of City Council. 4A, workshop session minutes dated September 15, 2025.
Is there a motion? Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. That is unanimous.
Item 4B, regular session minutes dated September 15, 2025.
Is there a motion? Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 5, proclamations, resolutions, plaques, and announcements. 5A is introduction of new employees in the month of September 2025.
Good evening, Mayor Council. For the month of September, we have several new hires. If they are in the building, we would like for you to come up and introduce yourselves and tell us what department you work in.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nigel Warrior. I'm working with the Recs department.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Holly Raindrop, and I am working in the finance department.
Good evening, everyone. I am Maria Worsham, and I work in the city manager's office.
Good evening. My name is Alania Lewis. I'm with College Park Fire Department.
And my name's Henry Brandt, and I'm with the College Park Fire Department as well.
Oh, we'll take a photo here real quick. Right there in Joe, this place. All right, group on 3. 1, 2, and 3. Almost forgot. 1, 2, and 3. Once more. Thank you.
Okay, now for the Employee All-Star of the Month. This employee joined the City of College Park in November 2003, and from the very beginning has exemplified true leadership and unwavering commitment to excellence and growth. He always has a smile on his face and never complains. Throughout his tenure, he has demonstrated remarkable professional growth within the city. Having worked in 2 divisions in public works, he has continuously advanced through hard work and dedication. He has invested countless hours mastering the operations of every vehicle and piece of equipment in the sanitation division. His exceptional work ethic shines through in his willingness to take on any task and go the extra mile. He guides his team through challenges with positivity and a proactive mindset. Beyond his daily responsibilities, he is deeply committed to the community, personally meeting with residents and business owners to address concerns and improve services. His dedication, leadership, and professionalism have made a lasting impact on the City of College Park. His teamwork and spirit of service truly embody our organizational values. Please join me in congratulating Cedric Hand, our September All-Star of the Month, on this well-deserved recognition. Go right here.
Come down here.
Cedric, you look younger in person. All right, Ruth. On three. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Last time. Thank you.
Now, tonight, we are honored to recognize several dedicated employees for their years of outstanding service to the City of College Park. These individuals have shown consistent commitment to our community, our residents, and the mission of public service. We value their hard work, professionalism, and the example they set for others. It is my pleasure to present our Employee Service Award recipients. Receiving 5-year service awards. When I call your name, if you would come down. Dania Anderson, department is Arena. Nakia Robinson, Convention Center. China Ambles, Arena. Raisha Flowers, Police Patrol. Ruben Kelly, Arena. Adoris Gray, Police Investigation. Philip Vinson, Sanitation. And Kanika, I always pronounce her name wrong, so we're going to say Kanika from IT, but I know she could be here tonight.
And probably if we just take a step back, all the way back to the step back there. Great, good. All right, Joe. See how you do it. Good, good. All right, on 3. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and smiles. Thank you.
We have our 10-year employees. Raymond Cotton, Highway and Streets. Ramon Thomas, Buildings and Grounds. Andre Townsend, Police Patrol. Gloria Martin, E911 Communications. Michael Lanier, Power. Ashley Harris, Recreation Programs. Jerisha Brunson, Recreation Program. Jared Burke, Fire Suppression. Deontay Huffman, Water and Sewer.
On 3, group. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Last time. Thank you.
Our 15-year employees, Dietrich Young, Recreation Facilities. Kenneth Riley, Recreation Program. Cedric Washington, Police Patrol.
They're growing big in the recreation department. There you go. Good. Go, go. Okay, right there. Good. All right, on three. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Last time. Thank you.
Our 20-year employees, Marshall Sparks, Water and Sewer. Andrea Mingo, E911 Communications. Jason Terry, Fire Suppression. Eric Hunter, Highways and Streets. And Sean Sable, Fire Suppression.
All right, on 3, group. Excellent in the background. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Last time. Thank you.
Okay, our 25-year employees. Timothy Lewis, Water and Sewer. Monroe Talbot, Water and Sewer. Jewel Dunlap, Police Administration.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Last time. Thank you.
And lastly, but not least, Carlton Newton, 35 years with Building and Ground.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna bring y'all to shift over, then Joe right here. and then y'all, the front will go back. Yeah, there we go. All right, on 3. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Last time. Thank you.
Thomas Sampson, no. Next agenda item is 5E, proclamation to Pamela Greer for city.
It gives me great joy to give this proclamation to none other than Miss Pamela Greer, and it reads as follows. City of College Park proclamation honoring Miss Pamela Greer. All right. Whereas Pamela Greer is a lifelong devoted member of the College Park community, having resided on John Wesley, Napoleon, Redwine, Bank Circle, Yale, and now at College View Hills Apartments, where she continues her service as an active member of the Resident Association Board. And whereas Pamela is the proud mother of 6 adult children, Cavell, right? Cavell, Rico, Jill, Dewan, Diamond, and Cravon. And the grandmother, I hope this number is still right, I might be wrong. The grandmother was 15 grandchildren, and the great-grandmother of 17 great-grandchildren, whose lives are enriched by her love, her faith, and her dedication. And whereas Pamela's professional career has spanned respected positions with Atlanta Auto Auction, Mannheim, Georgia, Rubbermaid, and DHL, reflecting her hard work, perseverance, and commitment to excellence. And whereas in 2005, Pamela faced a breast cancer diagnosis in her lymph nodes and underwent a mastectomy. By the grace of God, and without the need for chemotherapy or radiation, she made a remarkable recovery, becoming a living testimony of strength and survival. And whereas for the past 8 years, Pamela has faithfully organized a breast cancer awareness walk each October to celebrate her recovery and to honor community members who have faced breast cancer, providing inspiration, hope, and solidarity. And whereas the month of October is recognized globally as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, dedicated to promoting prevention, early detection, and treatment for a disease that affects more than 2.3 million women worldwide each year, not to even include the numbers that men who are affected by this as well. Whereas on October 11th, 2025, at 9 a.m., Pamela will host her annual Community Breast Cancer Awareness Walk in the city of College Park, extending an open invitation to all residents to join in recognition, reflection, and encouragement. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Dr. Jamel McKenzie, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of College Park, do hereby proclaim Saturday, October 11th, 2025 as Pamela Greer Breast Cancer Survivor Day, along with the mayor and the city council members in the City of College Park. And we urge all residents to honor Pamela's extraordinary courage, celebrate the lives of survivors, and commit to awareness and action in fighting against breast cancer. In witness thereof, I have set my hand along with the mayor and city council and caused the seal of the city of College Park to be affixed to this on this 6th day of October in 2025. We love you, Pam. We honor you. We're rooting for you. Come on, Pam. Y'all gonna take, okay. Y'all gonna take pictures. If y'all wanna take pictures, okay, Warren take pictures, then they're gonna come.
On three, one, two. Family.
Come on down, don't be shy. Come on, y'all. Come on, great grands. Grands, great grands, sons, daughters.
You see everybody? All right. All right, group, looking back right here. On three, 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3.
Item 5F, Proclamation for Public Power Week. This item is sponsored by Hugh Richardson, Director of Power.
Hi, Mr. Richardson. How are you? Great. Just want to make sure that we. All right, good deal. What? Oh, okay. Did you guys make a call about that? Okay. So we've got a proclamation for Public Power Week. Whereas College Park Power provides our homes, businesses, and local government agencies with reliable, clean, efficient, and cost-effective electricity, employing sound business practices designed to ensure the best possible service at not-for-profit rates. And whereas College Park Power has reduced summer residential rates by 22% in the past 3 years, and winter residential rates by 14%. I think that's pretty outstanding. Whereas College Park Power has power resources that are over 90% emissions free and has taken on additional stewardship for our community's well-being through a Green Power Initiative, the first and largest municipal program of its kind in the state of Georgia, started in 2004. And now, therefore, it be resolved that College Park Power will continue to work to bring lower cost, safe, reliable, and clean electricity to community homes and businesses, just as it has since its creation shortly after the incorporation of the city to serve all the citizens of College Park. And be it further resolved that the week of October 5th through October 11th, as in right now, is designated the 39th annual Public Power Week in order to honor College Park Power for its contributions to the community and to make its consumer owners, policymakers, and employees more aware of its contributions to their well-being. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park that we do hereby proclaim that the week of October 5th through 11th, 2025 be designated as Public Power Week in the City of College Park, Georgia. Proclaim this 6th day of October, 2025.
We'll split. Joe's in the center. Good. Joe goes first. There you go. Yeah, y'all go this way. Perfect. All right, on three. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect.
Next proclamation is to recognize October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This item is sponsored by Councilwoman Tracy Arnold.
Okay, last year I actually brought forth us recognizing breast cancer and domestic violence. And this proclamation is really personal to me because I am recognizing my mother, who is currently fighting cancer. Cancer is such an insidious disease, and it does not care. It's irrespective of person. And so I believe in giving people their flowers while they're still able to breathe them. And this proclamation reads, breast cancer remains one of the most diagnosed cancers among women and continues to affect individuals and families across our nation. Significant progress has been made in the areas of early detection, innovative treatments, and survivorship, yet the fight against breast cancer continues. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is a time to honor the courage and resilience of survivors, to remember those we have lost, and stand in solidarity with their families and loved ones. Raising awareness in the importance of prevention health care, including regular screenings, self-examinations, and timely medical care, remains essential in reducing the risk and impact of breast cancer. Whereas equitable access to preventive health care, treatment, and supportive services is vital to ensure every individual, regardless of their background, can live a healthier and long life. Whereas we recognize the dedicated researchers, health providers, advocates, and community organizations who tirelessly improve outcomes, support patients, and advance hope for a cure. Whereas we encourage all the residents to join in honoring survivors, supporting those currently in treatment, promoting access to care, and working together towards a future without breast cancer. And before I make this proclamation, I just want to say that my mother is a survivor. 3 years we have been fighting, and she is still here. Last Monday was her last treatment for chemotherapy, and although she has to undergo other treatments, we will continue to fight. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council of the City of College Park, Georgia, do hereby recognize October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the City of College Park, proclaimed this 6th day of October 2025.
up there, look like.
Item 5H, proclamation to recognize October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This item is sponsored by Councilwoman Tracy Arnold.
Domestic violence is another disease in our community that strikes families across our nation. And so this too is a personal proclamation because I am a survivor of domestic violence. Whereas domestic violence is a serious public health and safety issue that affects individuals of every race, age, gender, socioeconomic status, and background, leaving lasting impacts on survivors, families, and communities. Domestic Violence Awareness Month provides an important opportunity to raise awareness, honor survivors, remember those lost to domestic violence, and recommit the ending abuse in all forms. Whereas nearly 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men in the United States will experience severe physical violence in an intimate partner in their lifetime, with an intimate partner, and countless more are affected by emotional, psychological, and economic abuse. It is vital that survivors know they are not alone, that support and resources are available, and that our community stands united in promoting safety, respect, and healing. Whereas organizations such as Partnership Against Domestic Violence play a critical role in offering safety, shelter, advocacy, counseling, and resources to survivors and their families, as well as working tirelessly to prevent future violence through education and community engagement. Whereas by increasing awareness, fostering open dialogue, and supporting organizations dedicated to prevention and survivor empowerment, we strengthen our collective efforts to break the cycle of abuse and build a future free from violence. Whereas we call upon all residents to support survivors to domestic violence, honor the work of organizations such as Partnership Against Domestic Violence, and commit to fostering safe, healthy, and respectful relationships within our community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, the Mayor Pro Tem, and the City Council of the City of College Park do hereby recognize October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the City of College Park, proclaimed the 6th day of October 2025.
On 3, 1, 2, and 3. Councilman Gay, please this way. Joe. Just 1, 2, and 3. Good, thank you.
Item 5H is a consideration of an action on a request to approve and present a proclamation designating October 5th through 11th, 2025 as National Fire Prevention Week in the City of College Park. This item is sponsored by Councilman Roderick Gay. This item impacts all wards. No, Madam Mayor. This is a request to approve and present this evening, if approved. It is this week, but it has not been approved, to my knowledge. This was a request, yes, Madam Mayor.
mean, if we're talking about fire prevention, we're right up your alley. City of College Park proclamation honoring Fire Prevention Week. Whereas the City of College Park, Georgia is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting the great city of College Park, Georgia. And whereas fire remains a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and the presence of lithium-ion batteries in many household devices introduces unique fire risks. And whereas most of the electronics used in homes daily, including smartphones, tablets, laptops, power tools, e-bikes, e-scooters, and toys are powered by lithium-ion batteries, which if misused, damaged, or improperly charged, can overheat, start a fire, or explode. And whereas the National Fire Protection Association reports an increase in battery-related fires, underscoring the need for public education on the safe use of lithium-ion batteries. And whereas residents should follow 3 calls to action: buy only listed products, charge batteries safely, and recycle them responsibly to prevent battery-related fires. And whereas lithium-ion batteries store a large amount of energy in a small space, and improper use, such as overcharging, using off-brand chargers without safety certification, or exposing batteries to damage, can result in fire or explosion. And whereas the proper disposal and recycling of lithium-ion batteries help prevent environmental hazards and reduce fire risks in the home and community. And whereas the City of College Park, Georgia firefighters /heroes /super men and women are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of fires through prevention, safety education, and community outreach. And whereas the 2025 Fire Prevention Week theme, Charge into Fire Safety, Lithium-Ion Batteries in Your Home, serves to remind us of the importance of using, charging, and recycling lithium-ion batteries safely to reduce the risk of fires in homes and communities. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council of the City of College Park, Georgia, that the week of October 5th through 11th, 2025 is Fire Prevention Week throughout the City of College Park. We urge all the people of College Park to recognize the importance of fire prevention efforts and to take personal steps to ensure their safety and the safety of those around them when using lithium-ion powered devices. Proclaim this 6th day of October, 2025.
Yeah, just really quickly, the mayor hit some highlights on what we're looking for. And just look at October, this week is just Fire Prevention Week, but it expands through the whole year. So we want to make sure we educate the public on using and doing safe fire prevention practices. So check out our website and you get plenty of information. We're going to share as much as we can to kind of keep your folks safe. Oh, in addition, if you're out this weekend, come out Saturday to the Ward 4 Festival. We got toys, we got giveaways, we got fire truck rides, we got the entry. Please come out. Please come out. Shameless plug, but come on out.
I'll be there taking your photos. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Tilt it a little more forward. 1, 2, 3. Last time. Thank you.
Yes, that is it. Agenda item 6, remarks of citizens. First public comment, Pastor Brian Webb.
I believe that he spoke during the workshop, so.
Okay, next, Norris Moore Jr., Craig Eberhart,
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, first I would like to bid good evening to the mayor, mayor pro tem, council members, city manager, administrators, and staff. I am here on behalf of FOA and the past, present, and future residents of the 1 square mile area to thank you for your support in our recent historic Run Walk event. It was a phenomenal success due in large part to the efforts of the City of College Park and local businesses. Council members, we would like to thank you not only for your support of the historic walk, but also your continued support of the Price Barbershop project. We had over 100 participants at our event, and that number would have been larger, but we had rain in the area at the start of our event. But nevertheless, the show went on, and the outpouring of love and fellowship was truly memorable. It was great to see Councilwoman Arnold out at the crack of dawn, as well as Mayor Motley Broom, Councilman Carnes, and of course, Mayor Pro Tem McKenzie, who not only showed up, but walked the entire course alongside us. The event was educational, emotional, and spiritual to all who were in attendance, and it solidified the bond between the city government and its residents. Now, I would be remiss if I did not give thanks to the following. Holly Rodriguez, Cultural Affairs and Recreation Department, who was truly our ram in the bush for this event. She went above and beyond the call of duty to ensure its success. College Park Chief of Police Connie Rogers and her staff for their assistance in ensuring that all aspects of the walk run event were covered in detail. And a special shout out to Officer Terrence Gibbons, who was our liaison between the College Park Police Department and FOA. He made sure that all the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed. He provided a textbook example of how community relations should work. I also want to recognize Major M. Denard, Officers B. Porch, J. Ellis, and O. Lewis for their leadership and contributions to our event. Shout out to Fire Chief Sterling Jones and his staff for their assistance, and kudos to Samuel Nims, Supervisor with Buildings and Grounds, and Cedric Hand, Sanitation Superintendent, for the outstanding job they did in preparing the venues along the walk route. Lance Terry, Brian Anderson, and the Cultural Affairs and Recreation Department Affairs staff for their assistance with transportation. Lastly, I also want to thank City Clerk Quinnie Brown and Mayor Pro Tem's Assistant Olivia Dorsey for their support as well. We also had local business support, and the Granville Law Group, Cycle Kids, Sugars Urban Farm, State Farm, and College Park Shoe Repair were sponsors for our event. City sponsors include Sabrina Willis for BIDA, Councilman Joe Carm, Ward 2, and again, Mayor Pro Tem Jamil McKenzie was truly a catalyst in the success of this event from its inception to finish. Also, I must mention the continued support we have been receiving from Brian Hooker with Economic Development and his assistant, Joaquez Garcia, who are doing an outstanding job with the Price Barbershop project. Community members, Pam Greer, James Hightower,
Thank
James
you, sir. Is
Sarno.
someone yielding your time? Sorry. You hit the 3 minutes, but is someone yielding their time?
I had someone else on the agenda. Our community partners were on here as well. The College Park Reunion Committee
Okay. Is there?
with Calvin Rainey.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to combine this because they have a presentation as well. Thank you very much. Our community members, Pam Greer, James Hightower, James Arnold, Faith Roberts, Gabron Roberts, and Friends of FOA. Lastly, my awesome FOA members who continue to work diligently on behalf of the College Park community. So as you can see, this was truly a team effort, a very worthwhile endeavor, and we were looking forward to working with the city again in the very near future. And at this time, I want to turn it over to our community partners, College Park Reunion Committee.
Hey, good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Calvin Rainey, and family and friends, Larry Evans. On behalf of the College Park Reunion Committee, we would like to present you all and thank you from our heart with a small token of our appreciation. I wish I could have had some hats for you, but they went like wildfire. Somebody got some. But anyway, I have a shirt. So Gay, make sure I got you all. So we're gonna have these over for you all, and I just want to again say thank you and all who participate. Very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
And do wear those shirts with pride. Thank you.
College Park, boom.
Steve Alexander.
Good evening, Madam Mayor
Good evening.
and council members. My name is Steve Alexander. I'm a 23-year resident at 4132 Williamsburg Drive. And I'm also a candidate for Ward 4 council seat here in College Park. I'm here tonight along with my neighbors on Williamsburg Drive. Will you please stand? I'm here tonight to say here, and my neighbors and I are strongly but respectfully opposition to the naming of our street to Jesse Phillips Drive. Let's begin by saying that as a community, we hold great love, honor, and respect for Ms. Phillips. Her many contributions then and now can be celebrated and honored. The legacy she and her husband, her late husband, Charles E. Phillips Esquire, has monumentally here in College Park. I personally spoke with Ms. Phillips at great length, and she expressed that she neither for or against renaming, but has other concerns that I wish that you all would reach out to engage her on. With that understanding, I hope that the council would take a similar balanced, thoughtful approach, one that honors her family while also respecting the voice and wishes of those who live on Williamsburg Drive. And unfortunately, we as neighbors were not consulted nor notified about proposed changes until we saw it on the agenda. In response, the residents of Williamsburg Drive have signed a petition I have available tonight, opposition to the renaming of Williamsburg Drive. Now let us be clear. I'm glad Councilman Gay is taking pictures of Williamsburg Drive. I hope he come by and visit us as he take pictures. Now, let me be clear. We are not against honoring Ms. Phillips. In fact, we welcome and encourage it. But do so by not at the expense of inconvenience of the constituents. We simply believe there are better ways to recognize her by putting her name to the park along with her husband's name. Or just laying the street, I put an honorary plaque above the street, but keeping the name the same. But I thank you for that time for that, but I just want to make this mention that we are here. But also I want to make mention that as we campaign this season, I have been in opposition with people asking me how am I going to pay for the vote. And I told them no. So I'm just putting that out there to the AG department that somebody out here that's up there today is paying people to vote. And I just want to throw that out there. But we're here to do an honest campaign. Thank you.
Lauren Hartley.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you all. My name is Lauren Hartley, and I live at 2051 English Lane. I live in an R2 zoned residential area. My street is very small and quiet. There's only about 11 houses on our street, and it ends in a cul-de-sac. I come today to bring up some issues I have with the house adjacent to me, 2041 English Lane. I have brought this issue up to a couple of you, so I think a few of you are aware, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to share why I have issues. So I believe there to be a code enforcement issue. My immediate neighbor, 2041, has leased his home to be a group home for up to 15 different people. It's listed as a men's only group home. There are listings on Craigslist and Instagram and Facebook for this residence. The lease has already been signed and they have begun to move in. So I just want to have the council's support in shutting down this potential group home. The website lists that it will be 15 residents there between 3 and 6 months at a time. So if you think about over the course of a year, that is up to 60 different men up and down our small street throughout the year. We also have issues with the parking. There's only 2 to 4 spots available. If there's going to be up to that many people living there, we have concerns about that as well. So that's all I have for you today. Just wanted you to take that into consideration and keep it high on your priority list.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Colin Hartley.
Yes, I'd like to donate the rest of my time to Dr. Jason Corman. He has the same topic.
Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, thank you so much for your time. There's not much I have to say other than what Lauren had discussed as part of this. But I do think it is a safety concern with that many residents and that many tenants in the house at once. Previously, this was a property that was purchased as a 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. It's advertised as a 8-bedroom house on Craigslist with up to 15 beds. So I know state regulations for a group home are probably different than the local ordinances. So I want to take that into consideration. Considering everybody on the street, their safety, we have 7 kids under the age of 5 that live on the street, and they all have to go past that house to exit the community. So also being advertised as a sober living community, somebody needs to advocate for the tenants, potential tenants of that as well. I think having some family come through addiction, it is a struggle and a long journey. So I don't want them to be set up for failure as well. So just a safety concern, really appreciate your time. And again, since there are already tenants that have moved in, if it is in violation of the local ordinances, don't want them to be put out on the street either. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Ethelyn Barksdale.
Good evening, Mayor Mayor Pro Tem and council members. I'm Ethelyn Barksdale, and I live on Williamsburg Drive. Excuse me. I'm here this evening to raise my concerns about the renaming of the street. And I have a few, different details other than the gentleman who spoke. I have had 3 different kinds of fraud which affected my checking account. This all occurred in about 3 months, this period of time. And in the process, I lost 2 credit cards. I am still trying to get one of the companies that pays me to change to a new account. And I'm just very, very concerned about what may happen if we change the name of our street. I can pretty much guess that one of the companies that I deal with will never get this straight. But I do have a short list of the things that would have to change if we have this actual name change of the street. It will be credit cards, bank accounts, driver's licenses, certifications, any business license that any of us have, the post office, personal contacts, business contacts, billing entities. And I definitely respect Mrs. Phillips. We love her, but would just like to ask that she could be honored in a different way. And just wanted to ask for you all's consideration for the problems that this might, cause for the residents of Williamsburg Drive. Also, I had put on the list that I would like to ask if our recycling center is coming back, because it just kind of disappeared without any prior notice. And a lot of us do really like to honor the environment. We're trying to do the best that we can with that. And at this point, we're just kind of restricted. So I'd just like to know what the status is of this recycling center and whether that will be coming back. So thank you for your time this evening, and thank you for your consideration.
I think you can get an answer to that before you leave on the recycling.
Okay.
Carolyn Slayton.
Hello, Mayor, Council. I yield my time to Susan Perry. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, council members, city staff, and neighbors. My name is Susan Perry. We, the residents of Williamsburg Drive, would everybody from Williamsburg Drive please stand for me? Or raise your hand or something, please. We, the residents of Williamsburg Drive, come before you tonight because we believe renaming our street would create huge burdens and add no benefit to the families who live there. I will begin by saying we respect Ms. Phillips and want to honor her family's service to College Park. We recognize the name to rename a street. It's permanent and it honors a name in the community. However, we ask the council to weigh the real impact for us, the residents: time, money, errors, stress. To update the following: IDs, driver's license, military ID, Internal Revenue Service, Social Security Administration, voters registrations, passports, city and county records, other government benefits. Financial institutions, bank accounts, credit unions, mortgage company, annuity accounts, stocks and bonds, pensions, retirement accounts, retail credit card accounts, financial advisors, accountants for filing taxes, refunds, and correspondence, wills, trusts, power of attorney, property deeds and titles, schools and university records, insurance and health care, dental, auto, life, homeowners insurance, prescriptions, eye doctor, dentist, primary doctor, specialists like neurologists, cancer doctors, veterinarians, pediatricians. Things we would have to do too: utilities and services, cable, gas, phone, electric, trash, home security, heating and air, online shopping accounts, streaming services, clubs, gyms, and associations. Additional tasks we will have to complete: notary fees, gasoline to drive to said locations, inform employers, business associates, close friends and families, pet microchips for your animals. Having Williamsburg Drive changed would increase confusion for deliveries such as the United States Postal Service and mapping services during this transition. According to USPS, they are still receiving mail from the Arlington Drive street change back in 2016. This rename will affect them too. It goes deeper. For residents living with another disease, dementia, a familiar street name, a box address is an anchor to reality. Change the street name and you risk confusion and even danger. And for families who rely on accurate address records for health insurance and medication, a mismatched address is an inconvenience. It means it could put a life at risk. We, the residents of Williamsburg Drive, are living in a turbulent economy with this current administration. The cost of disrupting our 36 household with anywhere from 1 to 5 citizens residing, many of us being senior citizens with limited mobility, fixed incomes, limited computer skills, and access outweighs changing 3 street signs. Let us be clear. This is not about disrespecting Ms. Phillips. Quite the opposite. Mr. Charles Phillips, my neighbor, may God bless his soul, devoted his whole life enhancing the community. He wanted to enhance it, not hinder it. He put citizens first and not his ego. He himself would want us to honor his wife in ways that uplift the entire community. So we respectfully propose a compromise that will still honor Ms. Phillips and the residents of Williamsburg Drive and reduce or eliminate unnecessary hardships. We could create a scholarship in her name, educate the youth, for they are our future. Dedicate a bench or small garden or plaque in a public park, the city auditorium, or on the medium of skyline as you enter Virginia Manor. Hold an annual community fundraiser that supports causes that she cares about. Add her name to the Charles Phillips Esquire Park. These ideas would honor Ms. Phillips and encourage community participation. We ask that the council consider staff reports, any written policy, weigh precedents, and consider these before approving a street rename, which could jeopardize the stress, health, and economic status of its citizens. Most importantly, every resident of Williamsburg Drive opposes this change. If they weren't homebound or had prior obligations, they would be right here beside me. Thank you for your time and for listening to the concerns from those of us who call Williamsburg Drive home.
Thank you.
Robert Thompson.
Good evening.
Good
Council.
evening.
Mayor. I feel that a lot of what I'm about to say has pretty much been covered, but please allow me a couple minutes. Personally, I love Miss Phillips and knew Charles Phillips personally, knew their family personally. But please do not change the name of our street, i.e. Williamsburg Drive. There are many other ways to honor and recognize Mrs. Phillips without inconveniencing the current residents of Williamsburg Drive. For example, a sign at the front of the subdivision, similar to what you see for other honored persons such as Hosea Williams, John Lewis, etc. I think, or we could explore changing the name of the subdivision as opposed to the streets within the subdivision to from Virginia Manor to Jesse Phillips Manor or Phillips Manor. I think that will be less impactful. I'm not an expert, but that's my feeling on that. I think there are other alternatives, as have been commented on up to this point. when I think of the number of address changes that I would need to make personally, in my family personally, if the street name is changed, I get dizzy. There's banking, and you've heard these all before. I want to repeat, banking, there's personal, Social Security, driver's license, federal and state government entities, and creditors, just to name a few. Please, we need to look at this carefully and look at other options to honor Mrs. Phillips, because we do. The people on Williamsburg Drive want to honor Miss Phillips, just not in a way that's going to inconvenience the rest of the street. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Val Malani Ajanaku?
Dr. Vomalani Ajanaku, to remind myself, to hold myself accountable, to come in peace, to come in fairness, and to come to make a positive change in College Park. You can hold me accountable for that. I want to say to this historic council, you expected to do more with less. You're having to raise College Park up during some very difficult times. You're having to raise College Park up during a time when federal fundings are being cut, grants are being cut, lost, unemployment skyrocketing from the federal level, homelessness going up, and you're still expected to do more with less. You're still expected to tackle, solve, and address serious challenges from rapid growth from the city, serious challenges from blight and deteriorating infrastructure. You're still expected to solve lack of economic opportunities in College Park. You're still expected to deal with environmental pollution, climate disruption, health inequity, and the food desert in College Park. You are given no mercy with what you have to work with. I think history will show that one of the most outstanding and most innovative things this historic council has done was to come up with the community engagement, community enhancement engagement program, in which it was clearly demonstrated tonight when Mayor Pro Tem and also Mayor Motley Broom reached to help the Mount Zion Church tonight. It was clearly demonstrated what difference this can make for those who are marginalized, those who are being hurt by the high cost of doing business with College Park. You're to be congratulated. So you in a situation where you have no choice but to do as Councilman Joe Carn said earlier, you got to get the citizens involved. There's a blind spot, and the citizens can see the blind spot. You must find a way to leverage your scarce resources with community participation, community involvement. And this is what United Action has proposed to do. United Action has a vision for College Park to launch the Model City Initiative to work along with College Park with the limited resources that you have to get people engaged, to create to spark creative collaborations, to look at reducing the cost to the city to do business in College Park. The United Action for the Advancement of Humanity is now moving forward with the Model City Initiative. We've been talking about it for more than several years. It has fallen on ears of many, but we did have one who could hear our cry, our Mayor Pro Tem Jamel McKenzie, Dr. Jamel McKenzie. She heard our cry. She said, you know what? College Park can be a model city, and it will be a model city. So what United Action for Advancement for Humanity is doing is creating what we call a very creative collaboration with another organization to come here and deal with the issues that College Park has been forced to solve itself. Dr. Sulo will give you more on that particular initiative coming up called the Love Fest. Thank you.
Dr. Chisula?
Thank you. Mayor, council members, and family. I'm Dr. Chisulo Okuno Ajanaku. I reside at 1840 Mercer Avenue. College Park. I am here not only because I'm committed to College Park and its community and residents, I am also the founder of United Action for the Advancement of Humanity. And so in saying that, I want everyone to know that I am committed to contributing to, I'm committed to contributing my knowledge, my skills, and my passion to improving the whole community and the whole city we live in. There must be, however, there must be a smaller point for me to contribute all of what I have. And so Ward 1 is where I have resided for over 25 years. It is a starting point. I love the people. I love all the people of College Park, and I see the greatness of the city. And I want others to see the greatness of this city and the people. We have many community assets, and many people don't know. I'm learning more and more about the community assets, and I want others to know. And I know we all will benefit. So that's what the Model City is all about. It's all about the love of this city and the love of the people. And we all can participate. We all can participate in the love and reverence of each other. And so this coming, well, actually it's next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but we're going to have our first Model Ward Feast. And it's all about love and reverence. Love and reverence. Many of you don't know that I'm a scientist in social development. Love and reverence is the key to a model city, a model ward. Love and reverence. But many of you, like I was taught love and reverence is something that so many people live out in different ways. So anyway, love and reverence.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Please come out to the Kenneth James
Thank you, sir.
Center here in College Park.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next public comment, Bianca Motley Broom.
I believe Michael Broom is yielding me his time.
Yes, I have him signed up to speak.
I want to speak tonight about spending. Specifically, the pace and process of our spending decisions. This is not about being against individual projects. It's about stewardship. It's about planning. It's about accountability to the people of College Park, whom we are all elected to represent. Let's start with what's on tonight's agenda. We're being asked to approve hundreds of thousands of dollars through the consent agenda, often without full documentation or prior discussion. That is not what the consent process was intended for. It was meant for routine, well-understood items, things we've already talked through. Not first-time expenditures buried among dozens of pages of attachments. Not another $105,000 for a festival that has already received $100,000 and apparently has raised $65,000. That is a gross abuse of our spending. Not another $300,000 for a parking lot that 2 weeks ago this council granted $625,000 for, when they are trying to make up the money through the sale of Bill Evans Field, when we've already spent over $800,000 and committed that money to move a wind shear tower. The math ain't mathing. There is a problem with the money. When people try to talk about it, there are no motions to support it. But it doesn't mean the problem goes away. It doesn't mean that in the event of a recession or something more dire, that this city is going to be in good stead. Tonight, this council is being asked to consider taking $5 million from reserves to support a botanical garden. That $5.4 million that came out of tourism product development money, that made sense. That was not on the backs of Williamsburg Drive. That was not on the backs of Mercer Avenue. That was not on the backs of Rugby or Godby. This $5 million will be. We could pay down debt. We could invest in our community. Yet we're going to consider doing $5 million more without any sort of feasibility study or knowing how we are going to support this project in the long term. That's only 3 minutes.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Yep.
I set the timer for these 6 minutes that were remaining that we allot for the emailed public comments.
So am I out of town? Am I out of town?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Madam Mayor, you are out of town.
I'll go back.
That's right. I was supposed to be chairing the meeting at that moment, I guess.
First emailed public comment from Tom Coleman, homestead exemption. Dear citizens, mayor, and council, there is a senior and disabled homestead exemption referendum on this November's election ballot. This is bad for College Park. Some proponents will tell you approval will allow long-term elderly homeowners to keep their homes despite rising valuations. This is misleading. Lower-income elderly homeowners and the disabled already are exempt from the College Park property taxes. Approval of this measure will allow well-to-do elderly owners and those who newly move into the city to be exempt. Who will pay to offset these exemptions? All homeowners under 65 and through increased rent, all renters. Vote no on this measure. Tom Coleman. Next public comment, Mose James. Moving goalposts and still no answers. Since the inception of this new council in January of 2024, the rules around who can add items to the agenda and when they can be added have constantly shifted. One meeting it's one way and the next is different. These moving goalposts have created nothing but confusion, leaving the clerk's office staff my apologies, this is an old public comment. Next public comment is a petition from Richard Bernard Faro Jr. / Sharif Kasumba El Shakur Bay, address 56. Pardon me. College Park, Georgia 30349. I'm petitioning the City Council of College Park, Georgia, according to the First Amendment of the United States of America, for a redress of grievance. As a Moor, my rights have been violated and not protected as they should be according to the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment that prohibits states from denying any person within their jurisdiction the equal protection of laws. According to the state of Georgia codification laws and statutes of 1848, Chapter 33, Free Persons of Color, Article 2, Disabilities of Free Persons of Color, Section 1, Restrictions and Prohibitions 47, Exceptions in favor of Aborigines, Moors, and Hindus. All of my rights have been violated according to this law. Violation of my rights protected by the United States of America Constitution. I demand that the City of College Park grants relief for the injustices and violations of law done to me by a monetary amount of $5 million, and to ordain and make such other provisions and regulations as may be necessary for carrying into full effect the provisions and true intent and objections of the foregoing laws of the year 1848, as long as they are contrary to the Constitution and the laws of the state, as well as the City of College Park, Georgia, recognizing me as a national representative for Moors in the United States of America. Next public comment is from Mahershala L. Howard. Good evening, Mayor and Council and citizens of College Park. My concern this evening centers on both who is being awarded this contract and how the process is being handled. The proposed Ward 1 Professional Community and Partner Relations Services Agreement of Mr. Mario Malcolm appears on the consent agenda, allowing approval without public discussion. That alone raises questions of transparency and accountability. When taxpayer dollars are at stake, especially for outside contracts, the public deserves open dialogue, not automatic approval. Beyond the process, the optics of this decision are troubling. It reflects poorly on the city when individuals who have repeatedly criticized our mayor, some members of council, our city manager, but are later positioned to receive city-funded contracts. Rewarding divisive voices with taxpayer dollars sends the wrong message and undermines public trust in our government. Mr. Malcolm does not live in College Park, yet he has inserted himself into our city's affairs under the banner of community concern. He once used our very podium to read an alleged anonymous letter attacking our city manager rather than offering constructive solutions or a plan for Ward 1. That moment could have built bridges. Instead, it deepened divides. Now that same individual stands to receive $3,000 per month in city funds. Those funds belong to the residents of College Park and should be invested in people who live here, contribute here, and demonstrate integrity, professionalism, and commitment to the city's success. We have qualified, capable professionals right here in our community who can perform this work with excellence and pride. Our contracting process should reflect both competence and character, and every decision should strengthen trust between residents and government. Patricia Musolf, to whom it may concern, we are made aware that Halicon, a group home for men recovering from substance abuse, were renting the home at 2041 English Lane in College Park. We, the residents on English Lane, were told that up to 18 inhabitants could be living there at a time. Subsequent to learning this, one of the neighbors contacted Mayor Bianca Motley Broom, who reached out to Ms. Jamel McKenzie, Mayor Pro Tem and Councilwoman Ward 1, and Ms. Carter in code compliance, who stated that a group home / rooming home is illegal in College Park. This email is to follow up to let you know that there has been a great deal of activity at 2041 this weekend, and the neighbors on English Lane would like to be assured that the rental to this group will not continue to move forward. I live at 2021 English Lane next to 2041. My name is Pat Mulsoff. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Concerns regarding multifamily ordinance. Preston Thompson. I'm writing on behalf of Atlanta Apartment Association, representing 43 member communities inside College Park. Our association has several concerns with tonight's legislation regarding multifamily housing, and we would humbly ask that this legislation be held so that we can discuss this with you and your colleagues on the council in person. One concern is that the high-risk property designation criteria are too broad and can result in multifamily properties in College Park being labeled high case. In this case, this issue is in fact voted on tonight. There is one sentence left. Would you like me to continue to,
Nope.
or to stop?
You got a second left?
No,
What'd she say?
the time
Time's
is
up.
up. The time
Time's
is
up.
up. The timer beeped.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Next, item 7 is public hearing. We have no public hearing items. 8A is consent agenda. Madam Mayor, would you like me to read through each?
Yes, please.
Item 8A, consideration of an action on a request to pay the invoice from ServPro of Downtown Atlanta for emergency water mitigation and restoration in the amount of $27,109.10. This invoice is for emergency services rendered and unbudgeted for FY 2026 at the Public Safety Complex. Payment will be issued from GL 100 3500 52 5743 R&M Building and Fire. This will impact all wards. Item 8B, consideration of action on a request to approve Kimmy Construction Company, Inc. for the emergency sewer point repair at 2760 Lakeshore Emergency Sewer, Main Street, in the amount of $43,500. This item is requested by Timothy Lewis, Water Division Superintendent. This is a budgeted item, Fund R&M Sewers GL account number 505-4400525800 FY 2026. This job is completed. This item will serve Ward 4. Item 8C, consideration of an action for mayor and city council to approve Kimmy Construction, Inc. to do an emergency replacement of an 8-inch sewer main on Hawthorne Avenue in the amount of $231,675. This item is being requested by Antoine Dorsey, Sewer Superintendent. This is a budgeted item. Most Fund, GL account number 505-440054-1400. The work will be done in Ward 3. Item 8D, consideration of an action on a request to approve the award of ITB 26-12 pavement markings to services to the K&E Group USA LLC. This service for pavement markings throughout the city. This agenda item is being requested by Councilman Joe Carr, and this is a budgeted item in the amount of $30,000. Fund Community Enhancement, GL 100 1100 52 72 82 FY 2026. Item 8E, consideration of an action on a request to approve a piggyback agreement with Executive Realty Solutions for fence and gate repair services for the Public Works location entry under invitation to bid number 24-101670 in the amount of $49,466.04. This agreement allows the City of College Park to leverage an existing competitively awarded contract to expedite service delivery, ensure cost efficiency, and maintain procurement compliance. The project is being funded through proceeds generated from the sale of surplus items at auctions. This agenda item is being requested by Public Works Department. Fund GL account number 100-4054-7560, fiscal year 2026. Item 8F, consideration of an action on request to approve Jewel of the South, Inc. to remove and export trees, tires, and debris from the city storm drain manhole and remove the damaged structure and install 32 linear feet of 48-inch new concrete pipes and head wall to prevent flooding upstream to residential homes in the amount of $66,152.49. The install was performed and the work has been completed. This agenda item is being requested by Highway, Streets, and Stormwater Superintendent Raymond Cotton. This is a budgeted item. Fund Stormwater Improvement, GL account number 560-4250-52-6590, fiscal year 2026. This will service Ward 1. Item 8G, consideration of action on a request to approve an interruptible power contract with Clean Block LLC and MEAG Power. This agenda item is being requested by Hugh Richardson, Director of Power. This is a budgeted item as part of the wholesale power cost. GL account number 4600 This will service all wards, no fiscal impact. Item 8H, consideration of action on a request to approve an interruptible power contract with ATL Data Centers, LLC, and MEAG Power. This item is being requested by Hugh Richardson, Director of Power. This is a budgeted item as part of the wholesale power cost GL account 510-4600-536030. This will service all wards, no fiscal impact. Item 8I, consideration of an action on a request to approve an interruptible power contract with 4570 Edison LLC and MEAG Power. This agenda item is being requested by Hugh Richardson, Director of Power. This is a budgeted item as part of the wholesale power cost GL account number 510-4600-536030. This will service all wards, no fiscal impact. 8J, consideration of an action on a request to approve Clearview AI renewal for facial image of a suspect in the amount of $16,795. This item is requested by Connie Rogers, Chief of Police. This item benefits all wards. This is a budgeted item fiscal year 2025 to 2026, Administrative Contractual Services, GL account number 100-3200-52-6170. This item is a subscription professional services agreement. Item 8K, consideration of an action on a request to approve annual agreement with Power DMS in the amount of $10,890.94. This item is being requested by Chief of Police Connie Rogers. This item is a subscription professional services agreement. This will service all wards. This is a budgeted item fiscal year 2025 to 26, Administrative Contractual Services, GL account number 100-3200-52-6170. Item 8L, consideration of an action on request to approve the cybersecurity renewal invoice from Kroll Support for our entire enterprise in the amount of $54,235.35. This is a budgeted item, account number fiscal year 26, R&M equipment 100-1535-52-5730. This is a request from Chief Information Officer Michael Hicks. Item 8M, consideration of an action on request to pay the annual contract invoices for Sages Gov software, the following areas: code enforcement and inspections in the amount of $52,202, and business license in the amount of $26,101, totaling $78,303 annually. This is a budgeted item by inspections, code enforcement, and business license, and requested by Sabrina Walters, Inspections Operations Manager. This is a budgeted item. Fund publication subscription, GL account number 100-7200-52-5730 and 100-1560-52-5730, fiscal year 2026. This service is it's for citywide functions. 8N, consideration of an action on request to approve our Microsoft Enterprise License Agreement. This is a budgeted item in the amount of $154,074.50. This item is being requested by Michael Hicks, Chief Information Officer. This will serve all staff fiscal year 2026. GL account number RNM 100-1535-52-5730. 8O, consideration of action on request to approve the final payment in the amount of $13,061.84 to Sage Hands International for relocation services provided during May and June, which includes apartment/housing, lead outreach, packing assistance, move-in assistance, elderly/handicap transport, and storage accommodations. Fiscal year 2025, GL account number 100-6122-547530. This item is sponsored by Councilwoman Arnold. Item 8P, consideration of an action on a request to add Lindell Miller, City Manager, and Terry Jackson, Finance Director, as authorized officials for the Fiserv Merchant Services accounts. This item is requested by Terry Jackson, Finance Director. This will service citywide functions. 8Q, consideration of action on a request to approve a resolution to designate parcel ID 13070BA006 and parcel ID 1307Z0BA007 for the development of a city incubator and accelerator system. This item is sponsored by Councilwoman Arnold. Item 8R, consideration of an action on request for approval to grant a professional services agreement for community engagement services to Lexi Walker in the amount of $24,700 annually to be paid in monthly installments. This item is sponsored by Councilwoman Arnold. Item 8S, consideration of an action on request to adopt a resolution to designate parcel ID 13070A-B001 as a city public dog park and associated green space. This item is sponsored by Councilwoman Tracy Arnold. 8T, consideration of action on a request to provide Mayor Pro Tem McKenzie with 6 days of per diem in the amount of $510 for participation in the BIDECT, Bureau of International Development, Exchanges and Commerce, Ghana Orange Economic Dialogue scheduled October 24th through the 29th, 2025, where all other travel and lodging expenses will be paid by the hosting organization, VIDEC. This is a budgeted item for fiscal year 26. Fund GL account number 100-1152-6235. 8U, consideration of action on a request for approval of Award 1 Professional Community and Partner Relations Services with Mario Malcolm in a monthly fee of $3,000. This is sponsored by Mayor Pro Tem McKenzie. This is a budgeted item, GL account 100-1152-7281, Ward 1 Community Enhancement Non-Capital. 8V, consideration of an action to appropriate $300,000 for the Phillips Park parking lot expansion to cover the following unexpected contingencies: top coat paving, parking lot utility lighting, parking lot striping, parking lot commercial gate and post, and relocation of recycle bins. Fund Parks, GL account number 6122547851. This item is sponsored by Councilman Roderick Gay. 8W, consideration of action to appropriate an additional $105,000 for the 9th annual Ward 4 Citywide Festival, Ward 4 Community Enhancement Non-Capital, GL account number 100-1152-7284. This item is sponsored by Councilman Roderick Gay. And item 8X, consideration of action on a request for full sponsorship approval by the Mayor and Council to host Gateway to Talent, a musical production. GTT in collaboration with the Ludacris Foundation, TLF. The target date is April of 2026. Mayor Pro Tem McKenzie has requested full sponsorship to support this event by donating $50,000 to ensure a successful event. This is a budgeted item, GL account number 100-1152-7281, Ward 1 Community Enhancement Non-Capital. This event will benefit the upcoming talent in the entire community. This item is sponsored by Mayor Pro Tem Jamel McKenzie.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second? Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Oh, that's the one thing there isn't always discussion on. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Next is regular business. Item 9A, consideration of an action on a special event permit from Mount Zion AME Church College Park to host a Jazz on the Lawn for October 25th, 2025. Rain date November 1st, 2025 at Charles E. Phillips Park, Ward 4, with an end time of 5:30 p.m. This item is requested by Queenie Brown, Deputy City Clerk.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Councilmember Carn, what is your vote?
Aye.
All right. Councilmember Gay?
Aye.
All right. That is all in favor.
9B, consideration of an action on request to approve multiple invoices from Piper Sandler and Companies. The month-year invoice in the amount of $58,350 from GL account number contractual services 558-4985-526170. This is a fiscal year 2025 budgeted item. This item is requested by Brian Hooker, BIDA Executive Director.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 9C, consideration of an action to appropriate $5 million from the 2025 general fund balance for the Botanical Gardens project, additional phase. Fund is under reserve undesignated, GL account number 100-13-4200, fiscal year 2026. This item is sponsored by Councilman Roderick Gay.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
There's always discussion. Councilmember Carn seconded. All right. Councilmember Carn, go right ahead.
Cohen, do you mind if Ed present first?
Hold on. I'm still presiding over the meeting. Have her seat right there. Go ahead, Councilmember Carn. Nope. Councilmember Carn, did you have something to say?
It will.
Councilmember, I'll call Mr. Wall up. Did you have anything that you wanted to discuss?
I wanted to hear from Ed Wall and discuss.
Okay. All right. Councilmember Gay, did you have anything to say before Mr. Wall started?
No, ma'am. I just think Mr. Wall talking about it would be a better presentation.
Okay. Mr. Wall, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, council members. How y'all doing?
Good evening, Ed.
So, you all know, we appropriated, I think, was it 5.2 million, 5.4 million from tourism product development for the botanical gardens. Councilman Gay and you all hired two professionals, Rob McPherson at Prime Engineering and Jesse Frazier, used to be at BDR. He's at a new company. I can't remember the name of it. And they worked on the budget for the city, and they have come up with that they needed additional $5 million in order to complete the project. Remember, this is on Camp Truett, which is 60 acres of property that you're leasing for $1 a year for 50 years. And so it would be much more expensive if you had to pay for the land. And so it was my task to figure out where that $5 million could come from. And the June 30, 24 audit report shows that TPD has $12 million in it, and we only took out $5.2 million. But I'm not sure what other projects other council members had, so I wasn't sure how much money was in there. We could always borrow the money, but I thought it would be better to save the interest rate, interest cost, and issuance cost if you could spend cash money for that. And so that June 30, 24 audit report showed that the general fund had a surplus in 2024 of $7 million, and that was added to the fund balance. And so your general fund balance is $34 million, of which $31 million is unassigned cash money, $31 million. I want to congratulate y'all. That is so much better than it was during COVID. If you all remember, we had to use $8 million of it in order to fund other funds when COVID hit, because our hotel motel tax went from $12 million to nothing. Our car rental tax went from $5.4 million to nothing. And so we had drawn that fund balance down. Y'all have restored it over the last couple of years. And so we have a policy that we like to keep 50% of our annual general fund budget as a rainy day reserve as our fund balance. And so our annual budget is $42 million. So 50% of that is $21 million. So 21 million from 31 million leaves 10 million. So we have $10 million over our policy. So if you all, mayor and council, decided that you wanted to spend that money, what can you spend it on? Well, our policy says that general fund balance can be spent on one-time capital projects or in emergency situations where you just absolutely had to have it, like we did during COVID. The botanical gardens, these construction costs is a one-time capital item. It is not annually reoccurring. You have a $10 million over your policy guidelines. And so if you wanted to take it, $5 million from the general fund balance, as your financial advisor, I can tell you that you have enough money in reserve that is all right and it's appropriate expenditure of the money. Madam Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Wall. Any questions?
So basically.
Hold, Mayor Pro Tem, go right ahead.
Thank you. So basically, Ed, what you're saying is that we have 31 million in our reserves.
Yes, ma'am.
If we take 5 million, we will still be way in the clear. It's
Yes,
not
ma'am.
going to be an issue.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just needed to hear you say that again, even though I've already asked you that.
Councilmember Carn?
All right, Ed, thanks for the information. A couple of things. Now, I do believe that, the potential level of tourism that a regional type of an attraction like this could bring to the city, I think it would be tremendously beneficial. And we were given the property at virtually no cost from Fulton County government. About 40 acres of property, I understand, at basically virtually no cost. City manager, I know we also are looking at, we do have 2 hotels set to break ground very soon, probably within the first quarter of the year, with any luck, thereabout. The national chains that are going to be added to the GICC campus. My thinking is also this. I'm looking at, in terms of TPD funding. We do have a significant amount of TPD funds still available in our TPD account right now.
12.7 million, Councilman Carn.
How much?
12.7 million.
Well, my thought is TPD funds are, for those that don't know, are tourism product development funds. They're kind of specifically earmarked for these type of developments. Now, I think this is a positive and a plus for the city. This is a major, major project that's going to take a few years to get up and going and obviously get built out. I think there are a couple of options on this. I think we could approve this with a very specific and important caveat. We could earmark this amount for this expenditure. Also, the thought was to approve this amount, but to replenish these funds from the current TPD balance, as well as a significant portion of the 2026 TPD funds that are forthcoming. Either way, I think it is a worthwhile project. It's a major project. It's going to take a lot of work, but a big part of it is marketing. A big part of it is the quality of the design and so on and so forth. I think it's a tremendous plus for our community and our neighbors. If we do have the funds in the TPD balance, funds are funds in terms of funding. And maintaining our fund balance is very, very important. We are far above the threshold for our fund balance. And we always have been since I've been here in office. And I've always made it my business to make sure that we stay far above the threshold of our fund balance. I, for one, sleep a whole lot better at night with that fund balance cushion. This project would not cause us to lose that cushion. But that's just another option in terms of utilizing TPD funds as well. I know there are other TPD potential projects in the pipeline, but this money would not exhaust what we have in there now. Is that correct?
So we had the 5 million and change for the botanical gardens. Seemed like we had 2 million and change for a park. Seemed like we had some money for the barbershop business. I can't remember all the specifics, but one thing, you make a good point. 18.75% annually of our hotel motel tax collections go to TPD. In 24, we collected $16 million in hotel motel tax, the 8% levy. And so 18.75% times that is $3 million. So to that $12 million balance, we should have added about $3 million at June 30, 25, and then another $3 million at June 30, 26. So I would presume at some point you could reimburse the general fund from money that you collect. Yes, sir, you could.
So conservatively, by July of 26, we'll be back to 6.
Good Lord willing, we don't have another COVID.
Well,
Yes, sir.
Right. Again, we will still be far above fund balance, even if we opted for funding it out of another pot of money.
Yes.
I think it's a worthwhile project. I would feel more comfortable out of the TPD pot of money for this project on the far end. But a commitment to replenish this any amounts from the general, I want that to come out of TPD directly, and dealing with what we have right now. You've got 5 to spend down. I'm assuming there's progress going on with the development there. That's going to go on, so on and so forth into the first quarter. And obviously, we knew that this was going to cost more than $5 million for this bill. But I do want to look at making sure we look at the TPD funds first and see what we can get out of that and commit the rest back to the 26 portion of the TPD funds up to July, which should bring us in, like you said, conservatively at another 3. But that's just my thought. I think we need to move forward with it. I think it's gonna be, like I said, a worthwhile project and a very, very big project, and it's gonna take, city manager, multiple departments to really coordinate their efforts and make sure this thing, goes the right direction, and, those
So-
are my comments, but,
so- Councilman Carter, an appropriate thing to do would maybe amend the motion, and you appropriate the $5 million from the general fund balance and repay that $5 million from TPD as it is collected.
well, and I think that's probably a more responsible way to take a look at this thing. TPD is earmarked specifically for this type of a development. Now, if we start off with, if we start off with a significant portion of it being TPD, the other portion of it, if we cannot pull it out of TPD, the caveat would be to pull it out of TPD as it rolls in through the holidays, which are pretty good for us in terms of our hotel motel tax. So, that's just another option we can look at.
The only thing to add to that is,
Hold on. Councilmember Carn, you finished?
For now.
Councilmember Gay?
I'm perfectly fine with any way that the body feels comfortable. The only thing I didn't hear you say was, this is a $5 million that is going to be added to the current development. So how we repay it, I'm perfectly thinking smart to do it out of the TPD, but not a portion of it. The $5 million comes out after this motion, and how it gets paid back can be TPD over a period of time.
Well, I want us to pull what we can out of TPD right now, additionally. And now this is I guess the phase two.
No. So this is going out all as the original phase.
Okay, the original phase.
So double. Go ahead, Councilmember Gay. Gay, go right ahead.
No, I'm saying, Councilman Cohen, this is not down the road. This is development that's gonna be done.
All right. Okay.
So
If there's 12 in TPD now, Ned, I want you to, is that what we're saying right now? We have remaining, but
Right, and so
well,
you
we
think
have-
about
we
this,
have-
this
we have
five,
earmarked
was it
stuff.
5.2 or 5.4, Councilman Gay?
5.4.
So 5.4 has been, I call it encumbered.
Right, okay.
I think 2 million or so encumbered for a park. And then about $1 million was encumbered for a barbershop. 1,250,000 for a barbershop.
Okay, so
And-
those are the only encumbrances right now that we have, right?
That I'm aware of. It might
All
be
right.
others.
Let's do the quick math here, that's 9.
5 and 2 is 7, and million's 8, about 9 million encumbered, say. So
That's
that'd be 3
nine.
million left.
It's about 9 million encumbered there, okay. So, if we look at taking the 3 out of the TPD, the remaining 3, we borrow this 2, but we roll it immediately back into the general fund out of TPD for this additional $2 million here we're talking about.
Yes, sir, that's the way to do it.
that's fine. Just amend the motion, sir.
All right. I'm going to amend it along those lines. We want to be as responsible as we can with our funds and make sure we're covered. Now, this will exhaust TPD, but TPD has been pooling for several years. I guess
So
we
I expect you'll add 3 million in 25 and maybe 3 million in 26. Of course,
And for my colleagues who are new on council, when we built the arena, it was $45 million. We took $10 million and put it down, and you verify this.
9 million.
9 million.
took 9, yeah.
How
9.
much came from TPD?
Most of it.
And no, you told me 5 million came from the general fund.
So then it would have been 4 from TPD.
Right, so this has been done before.
So we replenish, make sure we replenish that 2 out of the fund balance. And we roll it over as it comes in.
So who's making the motion?
I thought you made the motion.
Okay, so let me amend the motion.
Yes, sir.
And Joe seconded.
Okay, based on what I'm hearing from the body, the nods.
Councilmember Gay? Let me know when you're ready to make an amendment.
Would you like me to state it, Councilman Gay?
You want to make it?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
No. Councilmember Gay, go right ahead and make your motion.
Item 9, regular business. Item C, consideration of an action to appropriate $5 million, of which $3 million is appropriated from the TPD current fund balance. The remainder from the 2025 general fund balance to be reimbursed by the TPD subsequent year 2025-2026.
I'll say as 25, 26 TPD funds roll in.
That's the same thing.
It'll replenish, recruit. Yeah, that's about right, yeah.
Councilmember Gay has the floor. Please let him speak.
For the Botanical Garden projects.
All right. So that is your amended motion. Councilmember Carn, do you still want to hold on that second?
I'll accept the second as amended.
Right. Any further deliberation?
I don't have a deliberation, but I did.
Mayor Pro Tem, go right
Yes.
ahead.
When I met with my youth civic advisory board, I asked them to look over the agenda on Saturday. And of course, this was a question for them about the $5 million. And when I explained to them how much money it took to build the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, even the youth said $5 million is not too much more money. $10.4 million is still an amazing feat to be able to build a project like this. So I told them I would say something. That's all I had to say.
Understood.
Any further deliberation? Hearing none, across the ATL Airport District, room night demand declined as hotels sold 2.6% fewer room nights than the previous year. Room supply fell 0.6% year over year, resulting in a 2% drop in occupancy, which averaged 63.0% for August. All three cities within the district reported decreased demand year over year. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all, council.
9D, consideration of an action on a request to approve a cooperative purchasing agreement with TK Elevator for elevator maintenance and related services in the amount of $787,000. TK Elevator will provide elevator maintenance, inspection, and repair services for designated City of College Park facilities. This agenda item is being requested by Ron Wilkerson. This is a budgeted item, GL account 557-499052-5740.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion?
Yes, I have some discussion.
Councilmember Gay?
First of all, I want to thank my colleagues for their support on the Botanical Gardens. So years from now, when your children are there, they should know that this fine group of citizens made that contribution. So thank you. But that being said, I would like to know when it just seems like a lot of money is coming for this building. I understand we own this building.
Well,
I'm still talking.
sorry.
I understand we own this building, but I understand we bought it as an investment, not for any other reason, but I'm sure my past councils thought that this would be an investment. All I'm saying is an awful lot of money since I've been on council. I think no more than a few months ago, there was about $5-something for it. All I'm simply saying is that if the mayor is warning us about being fiscal stewards and conservative, this is a perfect example to look at how sustainable this maintenance agreement is and how sustainable this building is. I mean, we might need to sell it. if it just keep costing us hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars since I've been on council. I don't think that the tenants pay that much money. I don't know. I haven't seen it in the breakdown, but I don't know what maybe we should get some type of financial report on the sustainability of this building, because it's quite an expensive undertaking. And maybe we should look at the federal government, FAA, and other agencies subsidizing some of this cost, if there's a way to get people to look at other options.
The thing that makes this so expensive is what we're doing is we're modernizing it. The elevators are 33 years old. We've had a tremendous run, but when you have to replace equipment like that, it costs money. And we did it in phase 2, 3 years ago. We did it totally. These guys did it. And I hear your point, but this is something I think we really need to do, and the elevators we're not going to have it. They won't be able to use them, period.
Yeah. City manager, the other thing that I would recommend, not just for this particular one, but since I've been on council since 2015, this same organization has come to this body for tens of thousands of dollars for this building. What I recommend we do is to put out an RFQ, but moreover, that all procurement no longer is done by this organization. It needs to be a third-party procurement process. That's my recommendation. If the goal is to make sure the building is ours, because it's our building. If that's what your goal is, we need to be a little bit more fiscal and getting a third-party procurement on everything going forward.
Councilman Gay, we have already placed out an RFP in which the responses were received. So we are evaluating the RFP for the management company. In addition to that, I have had several meetings with Ron and procurement. And as of several weeks ago, all procurement for that building is going through our current process, where it was not being done before. Our procurement process, that is.
Does this $787,000 go through our procurement,
What
Joelle?
we've done for the elevator contract is it's a Sourcewell, correct? Yes, it's a Sourcewell competitive bid contract in which we're piggybacking. In other words, it's a co-op. Basically, Sourcewell has already bid it out, in which we are piggybacking Sourcewell to repair the building, to ensure that.
And who's the successful contractor for this elevator?
TK Elevators.
TK Elevators.
TK Elevators.
Formerly known as Theisenkrupp.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Denmark?
Yeah, I want to just kind of big picture address Councilman Gay's concern. In our arrangement with our GSA, which represents FAA in this regard, the theory is, yes, we own the building and the City of College Park is responsible for certain repairs and maintenance. However, that should be a pass-through to the tenant. Councilman Gay, you're correct. It's supposed to be a winning proposition for us, not where we're losing money operating the building. Then that would beg the question, why should we own a building if we're going to just throw hundreds of thousands of dollars and not realize anything? In the past, I believe that the rents have put substantial sums in our general fund every year, but that could be diminished by repairs that are not passed through to the tenants. So I think would be beneficial to the mayor and city council to kind of see a scorecard on, how much we've been paying in maintenance costs, whether we've been able to pass that through to the tenant, and what have we been able to put in the general fund. And if we're still on the plus side, then that would give you a certain perspective. But if we're not on the plus side, then it would be appropriate for this council to consider what we should do going forward.
Councilmember Carn?
Okay, so city manager, so we have an RFP out for the building management.
That's right.
Okay. And Ed, I guess I'm glad you're back. I never thought that, I don't think that this building is really a money pit by any stretch in that sense. Now, the contract that we have with GSA is a pretty good deal when you're on the reimbursable side of it in terms of upkeep and maintenance. However, as time goes on, if the building gets older and maintenance and upkeep obviously is going to get more and more expensive, regardless of what type of a building you have or what type of a lease you have, even if it's a great lease. Now, this 700 plus, is this or is this not GSA reimbursable?
No, it's
This is
not.
not. That's what I thought I read. Now, with the elevator, City Attorney, you made a good point. That's a major, R&M, cost. I guess it's similar to the shared R&M cost that we deal with the automated people mover. As we keep things up with it, our surrounding hotel campus partners pay their fair share to keep that thing going. I guess you could kind of consider your elevator an automated people mover for the GSA building that they're leasing. So, it's a fair ask to share in that cost, and unless they want to start taking the stairs. Now, I don't know if we've approached them. They've been pretty good with us in terms of R&M with the improvements that they want to do. Are they still interested in elevator rides? I'm assuming they're going to still be.
Absolutely. One of the things you don't know is that the system furniture that's in the building, they have found a electrical problem with it. So they're going to order, I think they've already ordered it, $13 million worth of new furniture that's going in there. They got to have the elevator, and that's one of the elevators we're going to have fixed, is the freight elevator, where it can manage that load. And that's going to be starting probably within the next 60 days. So we really need to get that handled where they can handle that furniture.
Well, that's one thing. Furniture's nice, but city manager, we're talking about management. Now, they reimburse us for the restroom upgrades. They reimburse us for the carpet, for the walls and partitions and the things we do in the T1 lines and all of the technology, whatever have you, that they need to operate. The elevator is just as important as the restroom, maybe more.
I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm just saying that that's what you signed up for. That's what's in the lease. And that's my fiduciary responsibility to you, to let you know what the lease says. And that's what the lease says. What you do from that point, that's totally up to you.
Well, I think it's something to look at some point. Right now, we own it. If we're going to keep it operating, is it back up to capacity? I know you said it had 1,800 capacity.
Yeah, no,
where we at?
it's probably, well, right now, there's not very many there because of the federal shutdown.
Right.
But it's probably now about 75%.
Well, we're far back from where we were, so we're around 1,500 or whatever.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're getting there.
Well, compared to where we were with the remote deal.
Absolutely.
I knew with this new administration, there wasn't going to be any more remote, and it was going to fill up close to the 1,800 capacity.
Yeah, right.
If we're at 15, obviously
bad.
they're going to need an elevator.
Yeah, exactly right.
And part of them coming back, they were consolidating some other outfits coming in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the government, is saving that money because they were leasing out other places. You remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the new administration
The
came
railroad?
in, and
The railroad, yeah.
not that I'm a huge fan of the new administration, but they said you get back in there, we're paying full freight for that building. You're gonna fill it up, which So I think it's something to. I would have liked to have talked about that elevator in terms of you being management coming in there and saying, well, hey, wait a minute now, we fixed up, and this needs to be on one of your requests in terms of handling, some of this freight for this elevator, no pun intended. So let's figure out how. I'd like to take a look at that and maybe look in. If we approve this, I want to approve this with the caveat, city manager, city attorney, that we make a concerted effort and come to them and say, listen, this elevator is again, no more puns, but it's a heavy lift. And you're sharing everything else with the upgrades. This is a major upgrade here, and it's going to benefit y'all. I mean, what do we have? 9 years left on the new, eight on the new contract. So that's a lot of free rides. City manager, I want us to look at it, and if we pass this, I want to pass it with a caveat that I think they need to pay their fair share of some of that elevator cost there. I mean, I think it's worth the ask, and I want us to make a real concerted effort to insist on sharing in some of those costs. So, yeah.
And I would
Councilmember Gay?
I would like our financial advisor to provide mayor and council with a financial report of this building, like debt service, contract costs, all of that. Just give us a snapshot, because we wanna support it, but I'm personally operating out of the blind, just voting on money. I don't know enough about it.
Councilmember Arnold?
I agree. I would like for us to really take a deep dive and make sure that we aren't, it isn't a money pit, right? We need to see whether or not we're making a profit on this.
Mr. Karn? I'm sorry, Councilmember Karn?
I think it'd be a fair ask to ask for covering 25% of this elevator cost. I think that'd be fair. They're saving money by consolidating multiple departments back in that building, and I think that's a fair ask. I think we need to bring that to the table. I would approve this because it's our building, but I would approve it with the caveat of we're gonna insist that the government cover a quarter of that cost. That'd be my modification to the motion.
Who made the original motion? Madam Clerk?
Councilman Karn.
Okay, so your amendment is that you would approve it with, you would approve 75% of the cost?
I would.
And ask GSE for the remaining 25?
Ask them to pay their fair share.
Is there a second?
Well, Ed, you got any?
Hold on, Councilmember Karn, hold on one second. Hold on. Is there a second?
I originally seconded.
Okay, do you still holding on to that second?
I do, with us having
Yeah,
additional
absolutely.
discussion.
Absolutely.
I'd like to hear from
Hold on,
Ed.
Councilmember Karn, I will acknowledge Mr. Wall. I gotta make sure that I get you made an amendment. Gotta check and make sure that there's still a second, and then I will acknowledge Mr. Wall. I will handle it. Thank you, I appreciate it. Mr. Wall?
Evening, Mayor and Council. So you all remember, I think all of you were here maybe you weren't, Councilwoman Arnold, in 2023, and I came before you for a new 10-year lease. And so, this building, we did it in 1992, and Mr. Wilkerson has been the property manager all those years. He was here in 92, and every 10 years, he and I have met to renew this lease. And the whole concept behind it with the FAA and the GSA, which is like the property arm, the boss of the FAA when it comes to property, we leased it to them at cost. And so in 23, we had gotten a renewal lease for like $6 a square foot. And Althea called me up, said, can you get in behind this? And so I began to work on it. Mr. Wilkerson found this great thing in the lease that, just as a courtesy to him, we had turned the thermostat down to like 65 or something other in the summertime and turned it up for him in the wintertime to keep him warm. But the contract called for like it be in the 70s in the summertime and the 60s in the wintertime. And so he gave me that as this huge lever that I could go back to FAA and GA and says, look, at $6 a foot, we're going to be losing money. At $12 a foot, it's the same amount that you'd been paying, about $3,100,000 a year. And if you insist upon this, we're going to adhere to what the lease says, and we're going to keep the thermostat like that. Well, immediately, the fellow who was running the GSA, he caved, and he sent us back a lease at $3,100,000. So we renewed a lease for 10 years, starting October 1 to 23 for 10 years. So it'll go to 2032, I guess it is, or maybe 2033. I can't do the math. But in that negotiation, they also had 10 million of capital improvements in there. And I said, the way we've always done it since 1992 is if you want improvements, we do them, we pay for them, and when they're done, you cut a check and reimburse me, or I go to the bank and borrow the money and you raise your square footage rental rate so that I can pay the debt service and pay it off during that 10-year lease. And you'll remember, Councilman Carn, the lease before this one we're in now, they did a bunch of improvements. We went to SunTrust banks and borrowed money, and they paid a higher rent rate to pay that off. It was a combination. They cut a check for some of it, and some of it they wanted higher rent rate. So their lease rate at $12 a foot is probably half of what you can lease office space for in the Atlanta market. Around the Beltline is $50 a foot. So they're getting a great deal. And so they came to us last week with an email that says they want us to do all the wall coverings. And that's going to cost $2 or $3 million. And then this elevator is $774,000. And so I've been going back and forth. Trump fired the fellow that I had been dealing with. There's a new guy named Tim Wells. And Mr. Wilkerson knows him real well. And I haven't developed a relationship with him. I've only communicated with him by email. I said to him, I said, you're renting this thing for $12 a foot. You can look at it and see how low that is. We're not making a profit on it. Whatever it is you want us to do, if it's more than like $10,000 to $15,000, you're going to have to pay for it. And you pay for it one of those two ways. He responded today with an email, and he says the lease, the contract requires me to do that. The maintenance cost is included in it. When I cut the deal in 23, in my way of remembering it with the Craig Thomas fellow that I traded with, all he wanted me to do is replace the carpet. And Ron said we had the carpet up in the attic, and that was the only maintenance cost I had to deal with. If I had known then that I needed to replace the elevator and the wall coverings, all that sort of stuff, I would have insisted then that they pay for it. And so out of sense of fairness, and I've been dealing with a lady named Sonia Griffin who works at GSA, and she's a super nice lady. In all of my conversations with her, she gets that the rental rate that we're giving it to them is one heck of a deal for the federal government. And we know why we did it. We got 2,000 or 3,000 people who work in our city every day. And so we wanted to do that. We're okay with it at cost, but we're not okay with it when we lose money. And so I want to work with Winston, city attorney, and what does the lease say? Is there any wiggle room? There's my testimony that I cut a deal that must have been different than the lease. And clearly the facts are on my side. We're not making a profit. And that was a great idea by the two of y'all. I'm going to give y'all a report. Out of that $3 million, I'm going to show you how that money's spent. And what I recall is when I did it in 23, it is all spent on city services, on janitorial services, electricity, all the things that you would think that it would take to fund that building. It comes out of that $3 million, and we're not making a profit on it. And so it is your building, and in 8 years, you're going to either get a chance to lease it to the federal government at a higher rate and maybe make a profit for a change, or take it and sell it. So it's incumbent upon you to keep it up to snuff. And so if we can get reimbursed by the GSA, I think we should. If we can't, I still want you to do whatever it takes to keep it in good working order.
Should we,
Councilmember Carn, go right ahead.
going by that, should we share the cost as 50%?
Sir?
I mean, should we share the elevator cost as 50%?
I'd ask for all of it.
Well,
That's right.
Well, I think we need to ask for a little more then. I'd like to get a little closer look at that lease. I've seen it one time. I've seen some.
You know, it's
portions of it.
300 pages long with,
It was
I think, 58 amendments.
It was a phone book.
Yeah.
So one of the last thing, but question would be, does that contract guarantee you functioning elevator. I mean, obviously it has functioning building, but it does have stairs. But I don't know if we'd be in breach of contract something along those lines or not. It depends on the detail of the contract, I guess, right? Winston, go ahead.
Mr. Denmark?
Yeah, I've heard it said that we're obligated to do this, and the contract says thus and so. I have not satisfied myself that the contract says that at all. It may say that. The contract may say we have to eat every bit of this elevator cost. It may say that. I'm not satisfied that it does. I've heard Mr. Wilkinson say that, but I have not put eyes on the contract and been able to say, as your attorney, we're obligated to do this. I think we owe it to ourselves to get that assurance.
Councilmember Arnold?
If that's the case, do we need to table this until we have more information to determine whether or not we should be paying the $700,000?
And could I ask a question? I don't know the answer to that, but I just want to ask a rhetorical question. Y'all think about it.
Mr. Wall, go right ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. Would it set the tone, since it's your building, and I assume the elevator has to be replaced, bad shape? So you would be setting the tone, doing the right thing, and then asking them to reimburse you, and you're not fighting with them, and maybe they'll understand that they are renting it at your cost, and you're trying to be the bigger person. I don't know.
May I
Just
respond
food for thought.
to that? May I respond?
Councilmember Gay?
I appreciate you being diplomatic, but I think we've been setting the tone all these years by paying all these bills. I mean, rhetorical speaking, you can get 30 million to carry the furniture up the steps. It's only a 4-story building. You'll be employing people, just to be rhetorical. You can go to United Rentals and get a crane and lift it up there. So they can get the furniture in there. All I'm saying is this new council is very fiscal steward, and they're very young and they're very wise. We just can't keep just throwing this money into this building without us having some facts and pushing back a little bit. Because like since I've been on council, there's been no conversation. It's just been, it's good seeing you again, Ron. And then the motion got approved. There's been no question. And since the night, there's so much anxiety over stewardship. This is a perfect example to start that.
Yeah. Mayor,
Right, so
Mayor, you.
Hold on 1 second. Mayor Pro Tem?
I would, my suggestion is that we do, as Councilwoman Arnold said, table this for now and have the attorney, our attorney, look over this contract. Because if it does in fact read that we are not responsible for making these payments, then we can come back and go from there. So my suggestion is that we table and that we have the attorney look at the contract, get a better understanding of knowing what our rights are, and go from then come back. We can do it maybe even at the next meeting.
Madam Clerk, who made the motion?
Councilman Carn made the motion.
All right.
I have one other thing.
Councilmember Garretta?
All right, so if we delay that repair, where does that land in terms of the actual condition of the elevator right now in terms of useful life? City Attorney, what kind of exposure would we be talking about if we did delay that repair too? Would we end up having another unexpected cost to the litigation or whatever? So we need to.
Right now, we don't know because we don't know whether or not we're contractually obligated to do it in the first place. So, yeah, we don't know that. We're making a decision in the dark.
It's being used daily now, right?
Yes, right now, yes.
Okay, so where's the threshold with the use? I mean, if you guys looked at that. in terms
Yeah,
of-
I would say, with the elevator industry, I wish I had a crystal ball for every single thing, just like our cars. Industry standard of the useful life of an elevator system is between 15 to 25 years, and we're going on year 33. So really every day is a risk for the elevator systems in the building to where an issue will happen and the elevator is down for the extended period until projects like this occur. And that's going to happen not only in this building, but in all buildings for elevator systems. Their useful life is around that timeline. So we always want to consider it's a big expenditure. We certainly understand. And to Ron's good point, he is being fiscally responsible from my perspective, because we're actually modernizing 2 elevator systems and utilizing those spot parts to then source some of the other elevators on the site to then extend that lifetime longer. So he's really trying to stretch out as long as he can for these assets, but starting with that service elevator being most important right now, and 1 passenger elevator, that basically gets those 2 back to center, back to normal, and restarts, along with adding spare parts for the remaining systems that are still vintaged in the building, which can then be a discussion in the future of, well, maybe we'll go for it with this round, and what's the next set going to look like? Just some thoughts from an elevators guy's perspective.
Councilmember Carn?
And I brought this up because I thought, they should share in those costs from the get-go. So, yeah, let's, if we need to table it and take another look at it, dive into that contract. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Councilmember, would you withdraw your motion at this time?
I will.
All right.
I'll make a motion that we table this item until we get the city attorney to review the leasehold agreement.
If I might, Mr. Councilman, with your permission, I think it would be better to have a date certain, and the next meeting, would it be okay to table it till the next meeting?
October,
Yes,
next meeting.
the next meeting.
Sure, and you could come back with recommendations with the financial advisors, also more information about the financial impact, in case there are other unexpected contingencies that just come up.
And the full contract assessment from.
By the city attorney.
Okay.
Is there a second?
A second. Oh, well.
All in favor?
Serious? No. No. Councilmember, you've made a motion. What is your motion?
We want to make sure we add it.
No. That was not your motion. It's Councilmember Gay.
The
who
motion
made the
was to
motion.
table this item until this next meeting, which is October the 22nd?
22nd?
20th.
20th.
20th?
20th? Okay, whatever. Yeah.
Motion.
second.
Okay.
Hold. Councilmember Gay, were you finished with your motion?
City attorney, make the motion.
No. Mr. Denmark, Councilmember, go right ahead. I'm giving you the floor so you can make the motion. Go right ahead.
Motion to table the item until October the 20th city council meeting, wherein we are provided with an update on the leasehold obligations and the financial assessment of the costs.
Okay. All right. Is
Second.
there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Agenda item 9E, consideration of an action on a request to purchase a new flatbed dump truck from Hardy Chevrolet Buick GMC Inc. in the amount of $71,604 to replace unit number 184. This request is submitted by Carlton Newton, Building and Ground Superintendent, and is a budgeted item under Vehicle Replacement GL account 100-519554-7590 for fiscal year 2026. A new vehicle will serve all wards. This purchase will be made using a cooperative purchasing agreement with Hardy Chevrolet Buick GMC Inc. under contract number 99999-001-SPD 0000218-0006.
Is there a motion?
Motion from Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion?
Yes. Is there an opportunity to keep the other dump truck as a backup as opposed to auctioning it? Because I really like that other dump. I know the engine's gone, but it's a great vehicle. Could we keep it as a backup, perhaps?
Yes, we have an opportunity to keep that vehicle. It is currently down at the moment, but with repairs that.
Yeah, I know we need one bad, but that other one could be kept as a backup?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
it can.
We could do that.
Yes.
That's my discussion.
Okay. Any further deliberation? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Item 9F, consideration of an action on a request to approve an ordinance to establish a College Park Tenants Commission. This item is sponsored by Councilman Joe Carn.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion?
Can I ask for,
Councilmember Arnold?
can we adjust, item number 7, line 100? It says that we will take a report in June of each year, but if we need to make any budget adjustments, June might be too late, right?
January.
Maybe December or January, I think, will be a better time for them to report.
December would be good, yeah.
Okay. That's it.
All right.
Any further deliberation? Hearing none, this commission has no.
Aye.
This commission has no authority and no budget. But it is, it looks good, but we haven't given them teeth. All those in favor?
Aye.
Now,
Joe.
Joe, the motion passed.
All right,
uh,
that's unanimous.
question, city manager. Like all the other commissions, they do receive a stipend, the same amount equivalent to the other commissions. And we'll flesh out some bylaws and whatever have you as we go, so. All right.
Item 9G, consideration of an action on a request to approve admitting an ordinance on regulations for motels, hotels, extended stay, hotels, and multifamily rental properties. This item is sponsored by Councilman Joe Carn.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion? Any further deliberation? There are a lot of problems with this ordinance. And we have been asked by the Atlanta Apartments Association to hold off on this because of some of the issues. And this council goes ahead, there's a lot of power that's given to the staff in regard to their ability to determine how much insurance coverage a owner might have, how the security that they use in their, the security company that they use, the city would actually have some say-so over that. That seems off. That seems like we're also in this ordinance getting to a point where we are restricting the ability of a private property owner to transfer that property. I think we are wading into dangerous territory. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Councilmember Arnold, was your vote?
Well, I actually had questions, but you kind of took over the deliberation.
I asked if there was any
But
deliberation.
I didn't have the opportunity to pull up my notes.
Okay.
I did have a couple of things that I highlighted, and I just wanted to ask about, is this the one that had the containers, shipping containers on it? Is it?
This is item 9G.
Okay. So,
Except for with construction, circumstances.
but what about if they're doing like renovations that don't require permits? For example, interior changes.
That's construction. What I'm trying to keep from happening is permanent storage.
No.
That's
So it will allow for them to have containers if they're doing things like changing out furnishings, right?
But no permanent storage.
No, not permanent, just temporary.
Renovations, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because that was one of the questions that I had. And I did also have a question about the property transfer. Does that mean that they can't transfer?
Yeah,
Mr. Denmark?
Yeah, that's an aggressive provision, but if those circumstances are met, we added a due process provision where there would be a determination by the municipal court. So the answer to your question is yes, but it wouldn't be the city summarily saying that. There would be an opportunity for a hearing on that matter. So we believe that due process safeguard will allow the provision to be enacted.
I think we would.
Councilmember Carn, go right ahead.
I think we'd only utilize that under seriously dire circumstances with the courts. Just checking off on that type of
Okay.
stuff.
Any further deliberation? We could cite a property for peeling paint 5 times in a year, and they could essentially be a dangerous or a high risk property. There's a lot that is problematic about this ordinance.
Well, I think this
Councilmember
ordinance
Carn?
gives us the tools that we need to set the standards and raise the bar like they have in other communities. You mentioned you thought that we were wading into a dangerous situation. I think we're wading into higher standards for this city that are long, long overdue. And I appreciate everyone's support on that. And this will be a tool to help us eliminate some of this blight, the few blight pockets we have out of this city.
Any further deliberation? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous amongst those present. Councilmember Arnold has stepped out.
Item 9H, consideration of an action on request to adopt a power outage reimbursement policy for residential electric customers. This item is sponsored by Councilman Joe Carn.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion? Any further deliberation? We have no framework by which to give staff this opportunity to figure this out. And so we are implementing more tools for staff to say, if somebody's power's been out for an hour, we're giving them a day-long credit, even though they're not paying for the electricity while the power's out. So we are taking back money from our power department where they're trying to make improvements in our system, and we don't have a way to recover that, especially if that outage is out of our control. If we have a hurricane, if we have a tornado, and we have people who have outages, we've got to pay them while we are getting the power back on. I think it is important to make sure that we have safe, reliable power. It is Public Power Week, and our teams do an amazing job of ensuring that our public power is safe and reliable as much as they can. This complicates that, in my opinion. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous amongst those present.
Agenda item 9I, consideration of an action on a request to approve Carasoft AI as the innovator that will implement artificial intelligence citywide using their version of ChatGPT and audio in the amount of $53,928 per year. This is not a budgeted item. The funding will come from R&M Equipment 150 1535 52 5730. This item is being requested by Chief Information Officer Michael Hicks. This will service all staff and all wards.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem McKenzie, that is.
Any discussion?
Discussion.
Councilmember Carn? Would you like to talk to Mr. Givens? Do you have a question for him?
Yes, Mr. Givens, how you doing?
Fine, thank you, sir.
All right, so we're gonna try this out for a year as a pilot, see how it goes. How people will get a little spooked with AI as well. So we want to make sure we, it's gonna be interesting. We gotta embrace the new technology at the end of the day. And I do call a lot of places and they do have a semi-automated system. It does get you to a live person at some point. I want that live option to be immediate in the first options. Folks don't have to wait till option number 12.
Okay.
You follow me? So we want to program this thing where our residents that prefer to get to someone, a live person, have the option without a whole lot of wait times and frustration too. So let's just, all right.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Thank you.
Item 10, City Attorney's Report.
I believe my staff forwarded my written report to the mayor and council. Beyond that, I have no further report.
Item 11, City Manager's Report.
I don't have a report at this time. However, I would like to thank my staff for their hard work.
A report of Mayor and Council.
All right, so as I was saying earlier, we have a responsibility up here. We have a responsibility to spend the money of this city wisely. And I agreed with what my colleagues were saying about how we should really dive into this FAA issue. We should figure out whether or not this is going to be an endeavor that is beneficial to the city. I agree that we should take a look at that in regard to the Botanical Garden as well. We have committed $10 million in public funds, over $10 million. And we haven't seen any idea how this is going to operate. Are we expecting our public works staff? Are we expecting our recreation staff to do this work? Are we hiring more people? The Atlanta Botanical Garden has a budget that's over $30 million. And they bring in over $35 million every year. About 20% of that is through fundraising, advancement. Another 20 to 25% of that is through their holiday programs, specific programming that brings people in. Right now, we are trying to eat an entire elephant with one bite. And I am deeply concerned about how we are looking at this project. I'm deeply concerned that it's cost us nearly $1 million to pave a parking lot. I am deeply concerned that we have little to no accountability in regard to our consent agenda. That none of my colleagues felt it necessary to have conversations about millions of dollars spent when they didn't have it in the budget in the first place. That's not okay. That's not normal. It's not how other cities do their business. It's also pretty unusual to have a mayor go up and speak during public comment. I think it's necessary, though, so you can hear what I'm thinking. Because I want to make sure that your dollars are spent well. I also want to make sure that our employees are taken care of. And I'm deeply concerned, especially during this season, this election season, that our employees are being essentially stretched in a whole bunch of different directions with directives from some of my colleagues. They're getting personal calls. They're getting orders. They're getting their arms twisted. It's not right. Someone has to stand up for what is right. Our employees come here every single day. They work tirelessly. They try to serve this community. And they are told that they can be fired at the drop of a hat. They're being told that they don't care. But we know they do. They keep on showing up, and they keep on performing despite the threats, despite the intimidation. And I want to thank each and every single one of them for the work that they do. And I also want to highlight something that one of the speakers talked about, because it's looming out there. $50 gift cards for votes. Or maybe Marta Breeze cards, because I think 200 of them were purchased with community enhancement funds. The dollars matter. This is serious. It is the livelihood of a lot of people. And we've got to do better. We've got to demand better. We need to have serious discussion about the items on this agenda and how we're spending your money. We need to protect our employees. We need to ensure that they can come to work, do their jobs, and not face fear of retaliation or intimidation or bullying. And we also need to make sure that our elections are fair and not corrupted by $50 gift cards that people may use to be at a festival. It's not right.
What was the last thing you said? To be where? What's the last thing you said?
We have a responsibility to our entire community to ensure that we are doing the right thing each and every day.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for the mayor to tell me I could say something. Okay. All right. Good evening.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
I'll let you know when.
Just state next, and
I'll say next. Okay, thanks. We're doing a little something different today. We're going to do a PowerPoint so that I could communicate a little bit better for you. It has been an amazing 3 weeks in Ward 1 and in the city of College Park. The slogan for Ward 1 is actually One Ward 1, which is our goal, because we are trying to build One Ward 1, but also as we build College Park better, which can only be accomplished by striving to create a College Park that is united, okay? So over the last few weeks, I was able to support my colleagues at certain events, which hopefully they will discuss themselves, and looking forward to the events that we have coming up in the next few weeks. I celebrated World Heart Month by representing the city of College Park at the Heart Health Day Lunch and Learn, which was hosted by Randomize Now, which is a company right here on Main Street, and it was a great experience. Next. I also attended the Tri-Cities Mixer, which was held in Hateville, and we also were so happy to have the pastor of St. John Episcopal. We met with him, and he was actually at my table during the equitable dinner, which was held the same time. It was a really good opportunity to meet with members of the community and for us to begin to see some of the areas where we are the same and have some of the same struggles. Next. Community highlights were FOA. I was just glad that Ward 1 was able to sponsor a great deal of the FOA Walk, Run, Remember with our community enhancement dollars. And during that time, we gave a proclamation to the members of FOA. And of course, I've already spoken on some of that, so I won't repeat it again. Next. We are also looking at, we're really grateful. We had a fantastic event on Friday. It was our 6th community give back for the year. And you can go ahead and move it, yeah. We worked with Young Jock, and we were able to actually promote this event, which was promoting the city of College Park as well, on 94.5 streets, and we were also on 11 Alive. Next. This is just a little picture, just shows you some of the folks that came. I think we had close to 300 persons that came through on Friday, and we were able to provide food for them, clothing. We had 6 pallets from Amazon of home appliances, electronics, you name it. It was a really great experience, and I want to say next, a very special thank you to all the persons that helped us in organizing this. We had some very celebrated people that showed up and showed their support next. And I especially want to shout out to City Manager Lindell Miller, who came and next, and she graced us with her presence and spoke and addressed the group with words of encouragement. So I want to say thank you, City Manager, for your support at the event. Next. Okay. On last Thursday, I was able to speak with a phenomenal group of young ladies at Her Shot, which is a program that for young ladies that are learning golf. And we have golf pros that are there. It's being held on the historic College Park Golf Course. And I want to shout out to Bria for all the work she's doing. And it was a fantastic. Pam was with me and Olivia, and we were just really impressed by the ladies. Next. That's just showing myself on the golf course with Bria. Next. Okay. Also, this past Friday, I had the opportunity to represent the city at Homecoming 2025 for our College Park Rams flag football team. I want to thank Recreation for including me in that. We were able to share words next at the event itself, and the kids really had a great time. And I want to thank our Recreation staff and our coaches and our parents, our football players, our cheerleaders, everyone that plays a part in our College Park Recreation program. Thank you for all that you do. Next. All right, one of my real exciting activities, I think this is probably my number one, was that we started our Youth Civic Advisory Board on Saturday. We had our first meeting, and I am just blown away by the students that we have in this program. I want to thank Eleanor Cornelius Willis. She's a newlywed. Congratulations to you, Eleanor, for being our dean, and Miss Olivia Dorsey, who is helping us with the program, and Pam Greer, wonderful. We had LaShonda Little from Voter Education, Fulton County, come out, talk to the young people about the importance of voting. And we also had one young person who got registered to vote. I think I saw him here today. So he'll be able to vote in the next election. Next. This is just showing some more of the our young people. We had Chick-fil-A for lunch, so everybody loved that. Next. Okay, and then this is like one of my last slides. I think I got 4 or 5 more. We also had the opportunity to celebrate one of the members of our community, Miss Annie Ruth Arnold, and she was an icon in our community. Her birthday was this past weekend, Saturday. She's in heaven, but her daughter, Frida Arnold, had a wonderful celebration, and it was like a family reunion for all of us again. So we did give a proclamation on behalf of the city to the family for the amazing work that Miss Arnold did. Next. Oh, that's just me giving the proclamation. Next. Okay, well, just want you all to begin to pardon our progress on Main Street. We've got lots of great things getting ready to happen in the next few days and weeks on Main Street, and I'm thanking our Public Works team in advance for all of your hard work that you're going to do and that you've already started. Next. And speaking of Main Street, we took a group of our economic development team, Ward 1 team, Destination College Park. We went up to Avalon last week, and I want to thank Belinda Porsche, Officer Porsche rather, who was our chauffeur driver and protector. And we had a really, really great opportunity. We went to Avalon so that we could just get some ideas about streetscapes and the way that we can make our downtown district pop and become more profitable for our residents and our businesses. Next. Oh, that's just us talking. Next. Next. I thought I was going to have to click and I was going to be clicking while I was talking. I'm leaving on Wednesday to attend the LAMP Summit in Washington, D.C. I've been selected, all expense paid, except for per diem we're carrying, which is going to be a very, very a phenomenal experience because we're going to be discussing with leaders from throughout the country data centers and just getting a better understanding of how that works and how those types of centers and other issues will impact the city of College Park. Next. Also want to invite you all to the walk that we're going to have on Saturday at 9 o'clock. You can go to our walk and then you can still be at the Ward 4 Festival because I know I'll be doing both. So 9 o'clock, we invite you to meet us at Cannon Court and we'll be walking and we're going to all have breakfast at the end as we celebrate Pam and other business and other, am I over my time? Okay, next. I'm almost there. And then Dr. Chisulo and Dr. Vomalani, they were on the way, but they didn't quite get there. We were having a big love feast at the Keith James Auditorium next Wednesday at 7, and we've got some really amazing people that we're going to be honoring, but it's for us to come together as a community and start investigating how we can all work together to become a more united College Park. And finally, on last Monday, I had the privilege and the honor of celebrating my parents' 70th anniversary, 70 years, all my life. I'm so grateful that to have my parents. They're 90 and 91, and we took them out to dinner and just had a wonderful, wonderful time up there, up north. You all know I'm a Yankee. But the last slide, what I want to say to everybody is that take time to let the people that you love know that you love them. Call somebody up tonight or tomorrow that you love and just tell them again. And also take the time to thank somebody who you're thankful for. So that's all I have. Want to wish you all a happy, healthy, safe rest of the week. And until we meet again.
Councilmember Carr?
All right, thank y'all very much. Well, first of all, I'd like to send my condolences to the family of Mr. Edward Stokes. We celebrated his homecoming this weekend, and I'd like to send my prayers to the family. He's a great guy. Couple of things. City Manager, we did have a very productive meeting this morning with a potential homeless service provider earlier today, and I'd like to, next week, they have a proposal that they want to bring to the table in terms of piloting some of the homeless initiatives and things we were looking at. I'd like to set up a meeting with yourself and both chiefs, Chief Jones and Chief Rogers, to sit down with this provider. The amount of wraparound services they have, in addition to helping get some folks off of the street, is something that I think we definitely need. We talked about a potential pilot that would take us through the end of the year to see how it goes. I think it was a very productive conversation, and I think we want to flesh it out and see if it's viable. We want to work to get some of our homeless off the street and get them the help that they need. We do have homeless individuals in our community. We do not have a serious homelessness problem compared to other cities surrounding us. But the best way to make sure that doesn't happen is taking preventative measures and taking precautionary measures now to ensure that we take care of those that are in a situation where they cannot take care of themselves. So we always want to support the least of these while at the same time doing the best for our city. City attorney or city manager, at some point, and these multifamily measures that we have taken, I think are going to help us get this blight out of this city. If they're implemented properly, we're going to give some of this authority to our residents. This commission is renters only. Renters only. The city is 78% rental. And I rented for many years. I lived several years in an apartment community in College Park, raised my kids there. And, there are some differences. One of the things that made me want to run for office was that the treatment was a bit, you kind of felt like a bit of a second-class citizen, I have to admit, and we are looking at groundbreaking legislation tonight. These are things that other cities are not doing. We're working and making sure we're innovative enough to think about all of our residents and making sure that everybody's covered. City manager and I, we took a look at some of our multifamily situations earlier today, and wasn't good. This is why this type of legislation is so very much needed. Once we get in a chief inspector, city manager, I think we're going to be really, really ready to making sure that we enforce these provisions. And I want to take a zero policy stance against unacceptable conditions. I think that is a top priority in this city. I've said it for many, many years, and I do appreciate my colleagues supporting the initiatives that we are doing that other cities around us are not doing once again. Now, while I do not do any arm twisting whatsoever, I do a lot of glad handing with our staff. I support our staff 100%. We cannot function without them. And I'm constantly, letting our city manager, your staff know how much we truly do appreciate them. No city is perfect. You all do some hard work out here for us. No employee is perfect. No council member is perfect. No mayor is perfect. But I think we're all doing the best we can and moving forward and making progress in this city, and we want to keep making progress in this city. I've heard a lot of things here tonight being said about mismanagement and irresponsibility and things like that. I don't think that's the case at all. This Botanical Gardens project is a promising project, but it does have to be properly developed, and it will be. City manager, we're going to make sure it's properly managed, and part of that comes from this meeting tonight. My recommendation for reallocating this funding back into the tourism product development funds, I think, sends things in the correct direction. We are responsible for making responsible decisions up here, while at the same time moving things forward. We are a hospitality city, and we're tremendously blessed with the additional finances that hospitality brings our direction. But in terms of irresponsible management, I seriously beg to differ. Over the past 4 years, we have grown this city budget, but more importantly, over the past 4 years, we have grown these cities' revenues from about $158 million to nearly $200 million without raising your taxes in 4 years. We talk about mismanagement. We sponsored and supported over $15 million in new roadway improvements and infrastructure upgrades. The bones. We supported the legislation to make sure we hold our government accountable. We voted yes for ethics certification, for civility ordinances with the GMA. Our parks are going to be top-notch and are top-notch. I don't see any parks in the region that are looking as good as our parks. We've invested over $1 million in renovations in our parks, new playgrounds, adult fitness equipment, electric vehicle charging stations in the parks, all of them. That's not mismanagement. That's forward thinking, and that's good development. Supported our local schools and parents with an unprecedented 15% electric bill discount, which increased our public schools attendance, increased it. And out of all of the College Park schools, we gained 7 additional teachers according to Fulton and Clayton County schools. That's not mismanagement, that's progress. If you look around on every other corner in this city, we're prioritizing landscaping and improvements throughout this city. Take a look around. You can see it. You know, when we sponsored and created the Keep College Park Beautiful project, which I pushed to implement. And then on top of that, we added the Georgia Works Clean Streets project and that team to double our weekly litter pickup. We're working towards progress. At the end of the day, managing this budget is one of our top priorities. And we have successfully balanced this budget every single year, while at the same time, over the last 4 years, we have lowered your property taxes by 15%. So I want us to continue making the progress. Do we make the progress perfectly? No, we do not. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. But I think we need to keep moving forward, and I will keep moving forward as long as our residents will have me. I work hard to represent this city well, and I want to continue to do that, and I will continue to do that as long as the residents feel confident in my representation and in my public service. So I'm excited about what's coming. We're going to keep a steady hand on this wheel, and we're going to make sure that we become the best-in-class city in this region. And that's my goal. I think that's this whole entire council's goal as well as the mayor's goal. And we're going to work together to make sure that gets accomplished. And I'm really proud of the job we have been doing. It's bold. It's innovative. But that's what it takes to move this city forward in the right direction. So I want to thank y'all, and that's all I got for this evening.
Councilmember Arnold?
Thank you. Over the past few weeks, it's been an honor to engage with many inspiring individuals and organizations who continue to shape the spirit of our community. From celebrating entrepreneurship at the Standing on Business event hosted by Ms. Tawana Brown, to the cultural excellence at the Azucar Negra Gala, recognizing the life and legacy of the legendary Celia Cruz, and hosted by City of South Fulton Mayor Pro Tem Linda Pritchett. Each gathering reminded me of the depth of talent, culture, and leadership we have here in South Fulton. We proudly celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month, our first here in the city, and highlighted the vibrant traditions and contributions of our Hispanic community. I also had the privilege of joining Providence Baptist Church in recognizing Pastor Nesbitt for his 40 years of dedicated service, where I presented him with a proclamation. Thank you all for signing that, and a key to the city to honor his lasting impact on our residents. And Health and Unity was on full display with the Old National Merchants Association 5K and with FOA walks. And I was proud to support our residents in each of those endeavors to a commitment of wellness. The Arrow Honors Gala was another moment of pride for our city, as there were 3 community leaders that were recognized, including 2 of our very own citizens, former Woodward Academy President Dr. Stuart Gully, and our mayor, Mayor Bianca Motley Broom. And personally, for me, I would say that I was surprised that these recognitions were not shared. At least I didn't get any information beforehand. So we didn't get the opportunity to share it with the public, and it would have been nice to have the community to celebrate the achievements of our residents. I also enjoyed sponsoring a brunch for an outing for the seniors of Princeton Courts, where they had a day filled with laughter, conversation, and appreciation. And my sincere thanks goes to MTI Travel for helping to make that day a successful event. Additionally, I attended the GMA District 3 meeting on Friday, where we learned a lot about the next-gen 911 services that are being mandated. And I participated in the Clayton County Chairwoman's Town Hall this Saturday, where I continue to engage with our legislative partners in Clayton County to discuss the impacts of our city growth and the regional collaboration that we need there to move Clayton County forward. We wrapped up these few days with partnering with Yusuf Barber, his foundation, to host the first annual chili cook-off yesterday. And it was in the rain, but we had plenty of fun, and it strengthened our sense of community. And I want to thank the city manager for coming out to support that endeavor. And together, these moments highlight what makes College Park special, our commitment to service, celebration, and working together to move our city towards progress. And I want to thank everyone who continued to support these efforts, and I'm looking forward to us moving our city forward.
Councilman Burgett?
I didn't have much tonight, Mayor, so I'll just give a couple of comments. I want to start off by telling you in the 700 to 220, 256 BC, there was a Chinese warrior named Sun Tzu. He's credited for writing the book, The Art of War.
Yes.
And if I may offer some advice tonight, the first one who speaks loses. That opens up my dialogue. I want to first of all just jump around and talk a little about the Ward 4 Festival. First off, I can't imagine how honored I and my family are for the cooperation of my colleagues, the staff, and the leadership for affording us the opportunity to fund it. I will tell you that it would have never, ever been done without this leadership. That being said, why even have a festival? What's the impact? I can tell you that every employee that I see there is having a great time. They bring their family. None of them are mad to be. In fact, they're calling me this morning early to ask me, what are we going to do? What's the game plan? So I'm just super excited. I will tell you that the festival has always brought economic impact to our city. So what does that mean? How do you even measure economic impact? I'm gonna give you a classic example. The DMO collects approximately $2 million a year from hotel motel tax, right? And so what is the legislative purpose of DMO? Is to put heads in bed or to attract people to our city. Well, guess what? The DMO has $10 million in its account. I just learned $4 million went to Citizens Trust Bank, leaving a balance of approximately $6 million, right? And I think they only have two cities. I think it's Hateville
Union City.
and Union City. They got Union City?
Union City.
So the point is, you take that $10 million and the $2 million they get annually and the $200,000 that the festival costs. If you had to measure the impact, I bet you the festival brings just as much value than the DMO. And why do I say that? Well, think about it like this. It's been on the radio. It ain't talking about mismanagement. It ain't talking about embezzlement. It ain't talking about crime. It's talking about something positive. People are hearing a positive message about our great city. Two, it has brought the likes of very celebrity people to our city. Not just our festival, we get it all the time, and we have celebrity always. This is College Park, so that's nothing new. But I will tell you, to be able to have a classic conversation with Young, what's his name? My wife said, if you pronounce that man's name wrong again, Young Thug.
Oh.
To be able to have him to sit down with Portia Bruner and have a classic conversation about gang violence, drugs in our great city. To have Portia Bruner come here, to have Shaka Khan come here to announce her foundation. She's honored to announce it in the great city of College Park. And so I'm not bragging, but I'm just trying to tell you that there's something unique about our culture, something unique about our community. And when we do have these festivals, the naysayers are the main ones that we can't even keep off the stage taking pictures. So make it make sense. If you don't like it, stay home. the next thing I would tell you is that the festival is Saturday. The good Lord has said He's going to give us 80-degree weather. Your mother may come. My 92-year-old mother may come. You're going to dance.
I'm gonna dance.
Joe's going to come. So we're going to have a great time, y'all. So I'm looking, city manager going to come. I don't know about the city attorney, but you know, there it is. There it is. This is, I mean, it's just going to be amazing. And just one last thing, and I'm going to move this real quick. There is Hicks Sanctioned Boxing with Hicksville Gym, who brought us Clarissa Shea at the park before her fight. There is a car show that has participated for the 9th year. There is the Midway Festival, where those men are out there setting up now in our great city. They'll be living in our city for a week. There is Retired NBA Association, where multi-million-dollar athletes are coming to play ball at our basketball court for celebrity. There's Banneker High School, and Tri-City, and they say it's 150 of them on one school. And so what am I saying? These kids now get to come and perform and dance. There's a rodeo with bucking horse, barrel horses. There's Southern Soul. There's Miss Shirley coming up here from Mississippi. There's the American Idol Canaan coming up here to bless us. And, you know, and we need, yeah, he's coming. And he said he love you and nothing you can do about it. So I can just go on and on. Now, as far as gift cards, I'm going to touch about that in a minute. But before I do, Mayor, I want to say, and I've learned this from our president, if he can do it, I can just barely do it. The guy running against me is an idiot. He's an idiot. He is also very polarizing. He's a liar. He's never done anything for Ward 4. I don't know what he's done for our city, but it would be something if somebody was running who just like was my comrade, you know, who was there with me from day one. They was down with me, and it's like, look, man, pass the torch. But an idiot? Now, I will say this, since he wants to be, this same idiot, when we were campaigning for Pamela Gay for mayor, the bros, the Q's was out there at College View at the church, Calvary. They over there doing voter registration. That's their mandated. What's the lady with the nonprofit, Feed the Hungry? Listen, Amalami, her son, Dale. He was over here passing out chicken because he was trying to get rid of this chicken. I ain't seen nothing wrong with it. Next thing I know, we getting a call from the Secretary of State. We've been accused by, she dead now, that girl at the apartments. We've been accused for, get this now, get this, giving out chicken for votes. And it was fried chicken. I didn't even eat it. It was like these big bags of Harbor chicken. I'm sorry, Dave. But giving out chicken. And who signed the affidavit was this idiot who's running against me. This same idiot follows my daughter. He lives down the street. He sees my child. He jumps in his green truck and he follows my daughter to the interstate. The guy's obsessed. Connie Rogers, you might actually need to check him out. He's obsessed with the gays. The guy's an idiot. I said, Steve, I said, sir, if you ever follow my child again, I am no longer a councilman. I am no longer a councilman. So I just want to say that, last thing I want to just say, that the guy's just an idiot. Now, enough said. Williamsburg Drive, let me apologize to you. I didn't know that what it took to get y'all to come out, but now I know. That's the first time I've ever seen Williamsburg at one place since I've lived here since 1998. And so I say that respectfully because now I learned that I guess they don't want to see their street. Now, I don't agree with some of the analogy because the post office is a little bit more sophisticated. And I do want to take credit that we named Roosevelt Main Street. I didn't see no interruption. And hell, they got 4 or 5 hotels. But you have a right to feel how you feel. We named Lottie Miller, I don't even know what it was called, but now it's called Lottie Miller. And we just named catering to Jesse A. Dent. And a resident called me to name it after Jesse Dent, and when I named it, the whole street got mad. So you just can't make people happy when it comes to street naming. Leave that alone. So Williamsburg, the resolution was actually not even on the agenda. If you had gotten your facts right from listening to that idiot, you would have known that it was not even on the agenda. It's been pulled because we do respect and honor your wishes. Although I say there's nothing significant about Williamsburg, that was a white developer who came and built a development, and he was from the East Coast, so he decided to name the streets from his neighborhood. That's why you got those streets. But hey, if you don't want it named, it does not have to be named. Okay, real quick, let's talk about the Botanical Garden. I just got a call from a reporter. So must say, whoever on the other side, they are very great. They're good. I just got a hit. Want to do an interview about the money. You can't make this up. You can't find them for the dog park. You can't find them for nothing positive, right? But just that quick, and they gonna get an interview, all right. But it won't be from me. It'll be from very talented people who are better linguists than I. But the point I'm making is, Mayor, the Atlanta Botanical Garden is spending $100 million to move from 10th Street to Monroe. So I asked Ed Wall, I said, Ed, how do you, and I'm about done, I said, Ed, how do you figure they spending $100 million and I'm only asking for 5? He said, because you got common sense. I said, how you figure? He said, because you know what you can do with $5 million. You don't need $100 million. And what you're not hearing about this narrative is that you didn't see me 20 years knocking on doors. 20 now. Some of y'all can't even stay down for a day. I'm talking 20 years with no pay. And I have a master's degree from DePaul. I was a millionaire twice. My children go to Ivy League schools. We got everything you dream about. I never got one dime. If I was paid for what I've contributed, it'll be more than what some of you all making, times 5. And so what's my point in saying all of that? There was 2 young men at the Botanical Garden. One was an Indian who just graduated from Georgia State. This is like 3 weeks ago. And then there was this white kid, and he had this phone. And I said, man, what are you doing? He says, I'm surveying the trees. I said, you out with the phone? He says, yeah. I said, tell me how it works. He says, so this phone got a GPS in it, and so it's programmed with the CAD of the design. So as I do a tree, I hit the button, and it showed a tree on the design. I said, dang. And then he says, this Camp Truett has the largest selection of white oaks. So the conversation went on. And then I went out there another day, and then there was this Indian guy, and I said, no, who you supposed to be? He said, I'm a geologist. Got the little outfit on. I said, so what you want to do, go around the world and look for diamonds? He said, at some point. But right now, I'm out here at Camp Truett. And so he was doing core samples to determine the stability of the road. Now, what is my point for saying that? Before I answer that question, I'm almost done. I've substitute teach because I wanted to be in my children's life. And they're out of school, and I don't sub anymore. But one of the things that I did to keep the kids engaged, now remember I've been working on this Botanical Garden for 20 years. And one of the things I do to keep the children engaged, I said, y'all stand on this wall and everybody get up. Come on, stand on the wall. I said, tell me what you want to be when you grow up. I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm a hairdresser, I'm a barber, I'm a football player, I'm a stripper, it goes on and on. Not one of them wanted to be a geologist. Not one of them wanted to be an arborist. Why? Because they don't get exposed to that. You see, the Botanical Garden ain't just about plants. It's about exposure. It's about giving our K through 12 children in Fulton County exposure to non-traditional opportunities. It's not just about walking around looking at flowers. And last but not least, I want to say that in the 1600s, Europeans used to get on ships that were commissioned from kings, and they make them travel all over the world. I'm talking 1600, this 2025. Let's do some history. They go all over the world, and guess what they did? They collected plants. Plants. And what did they do with the plants? They brought them back to their communities and their countries, and then they established what we know are crops, flowers, foliage, medicinal. Now you say, well, that's a little bit too advanced for College Park. No, it's not actually. And I don't think that those European settlers are any better than the great minds and thinkers that want to build this botanical garden. And the last thing I'll tell you is that 4 women, one was J. Poo Fuku's wife, went to the late Maynard Jackson in the 70s and said, Maynard, we want to build a botanical garden. And Maynard, being the visionary he is, he didn't say, y'all messing up money, y'all blowing. He do that. You know what Maynard said? Y'all know I think it's a great idea. So they went and got a little trailer and they put it over there where the botanical garden, a cabin, a little motorhome was put over there. And them women sat over there for years raising money to what we now know is the Atlanta Botanical Garden. Then it goes a little bit further. It also grew Piedmont Park Conservatory. Now, y'all all from Atlanta remember Piedmont Park. You know what Piedmont Park was. You go smoke, do all that. But look at it now. Yeah. Right? You know why? Because a group of residents got together and created a Piedmont Park Conservation Fund. And then their first concert, right? Forget this festival Saturday. Their first artist was Elton John. And he didn't even charge them. And when he sang, it just spiraled out. And so now you have an economic impact from what it's a green space. So for those of you who don't know, it is much deeper than what you thought. It's way deeper than what you know. And so I'll take the ignorance. I respect ignorance. But ignorance is just simply defined as not knowing. And so the last I'll say is that I've covered it all. College Park employees. We've talked about that. Joe talked about them. And I'll just tell you, I don't know one College Park employee who's intimidated by us. I think they look at us like family. And you can't keep them from applying back to work here. All of them want to come back. Look at who's applying. That don't sound like they're getting bullied to me. You can't get rid of them. And then when you get rid of them, they want to sue you and get money. So I can't figure it. Who's bullying who? And then that was this mixed message that went out by a certain leader that made employees start this suit. Yeah, it was. It was to make women, you talk about violence, but actually it was a push to make women employees feel like they were being threatened by the black leadership men. And it cost us a long list of women making frivolous lawsuits. That's not leadership. That's not leadership. That's not what, and I'm going to say this last thing, and I'm saying this proudly. Ward 4 was told to me by a sanitation worker, it's the new black rugby. Because we care. And Jamel, you're doing a great job. We were talking about you. At least she does stuff in her community. You can say what you want. She can be all you say. Councilwoman Arnold, you making it happen in your ward. Joe, they don't talk about this, but you holding apartment people accountable. Yes. You making them accountable. Now, they can say what they want to say about you, but you're doing a good job. So I close tonight by saying that I don't even have to ask for your vote up here. My work speaks for itself. And in the words of your South Fulton Democrat co-head, my ex-teacher at Frederick Douglass, Miss Gloria Jenkins, you have to have your head checked if you don't vote for Councilman Gates. Something has to be mentally wrong with you. And that concludes my mayor and council minutes.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion to enter to executive session for the purposes of real estate litigation and personnel?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous. We'll head into executive session.